I had him for 15 tackles. What can you say about a guy like Pearson? How important is he to your leadership?
Well, you look, that's why he was voted captain. Yeah. I mean, he goes out there and he leaves it all on the field no matter what. He plays with so much heart and so much emotion. He's going out there and giving it all. Some of his runs, I mean, he would nonstop. I mean, his legs kept going and going and going on defense. I mean, the best games I've ever seen Pierce ever play, and I'm looking forward to watching him play the rest of the season.
Well, looking tonight's game with the Springs Valley Blackhawks, of course, we know by now that their running back, who's the main part of their offense, doesn't look like he's going to play. What do you expect to see out of the Blackhawks tonight?
I see him still trying to run the ball a little bit and maybe throw a little play action stuff here and there. I mean, they're still mainly run, so we'll deal with it. They're not going to throw anything new at us we haven't really seen yet, so our defense will be ready for just about anything. So we'll just come out there and do what we do best and try to stop the run and force them to pass, and hopefully we can get some pick six.
Now, as I stand around here in the pregame, I can't help but notice a couple of our regular players in street clothes. This is going to be an opportunity maybe to get some of these second-hand guys some varsity action.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to create some depth tonight. A couple guys not being able to play for various reasons, so we're going to be able to start some younger guys, and especially with not having a JV game on Monday.
Yeah.
If things work out the way we all hope so, we might be able to get some of those guys in a little earlier. But you never know. It's a high school football game. When you're dealing with young men, games can go either direction.
Your wish list for tonight for the Miners, what would you like to come away with this game other than obviously one to win?
Obviously the win, but the biggest thing is, like always, get better. We got to come out and take this game, just the intensity at the beginning, just like we would against Norfolk Million or Sullivan. We got to come out there and play at that high level. We can't play a low level. We can't play down to a lower level. We got to keep striving to keep getting better and push ourselves, and that's one of the biggest keys. And then obviously offense, just continue working, focus on 0 turnovers, and try to get our passing game going a little bit more.
You took my next question away. I figured we might see a little bit of the work on the passing game, so I'll just go right to the next one, Coach. Obviously, we got some injuries. This might be a good game to get some guys who were nicked up a little bit some rest. Anything serious or just some guys with some bruises?
Bruises mainly. There's nothing serious or anything on a couple of the guys, so just mostly just little bumps and bruises or sore hair. That's probably best just to rest them. And because it's a long season, we still got a lot of football left to be played, so sometimes it's easier just to rest them.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention being selected as the Colts as a high school coach of the year, coach of the week. Pretty an awesome experience.
Yeah, it's been pretty neat so far. I mean, but like I said, I'm only a small piece of this puzzle. I got some great coaches. All my 8 coaches, they do a great job. Everybody always complains, "Oh, you got so many coaches," but that's a teacher in me. All these guys got a specific job. They got a small group of guys. When you teach in a classroom, you always want to have a small group to be able you can work with. And all these guys have a small group of kids. They all have either running backs, wings, wide receivers. So they only have 5 or 6 guys. So you can focus on a lot of those little things. If you had a bunch of those guys together, well, it's hard to get things taught because so many kids might be not paying attention. Well, now they have to. And that's the big key. I mean, all these coaches, they've been here a long time. They do a tremendous job for me. The players came out and they performed great to what we preached to them all year. So, I mean, I'll get the credit for it, I guess, but it's really those guys that deserve it. So when I get to go up on December 20th to watch that Colts game and get honored, I got to buy several tickets for the coaches. So.
Coach, I appreciate you taking the time. Good luck tonight, and hopefully we'll see you after the game. Big smile on your face.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That was Coach Brian Oliver for the Linton Miners. You're listening to Linton Miner Football. We're going to take a 60-second timeout. This is a production of Media 5 Sports.
Welcome back to Springs Valley High School. I'm Darren Clayton alongside Dan Phillips, and the starting lineups for tonight's game are brought to you by Midwest Natural Gas. Quick, name the energy source that has decreased in price from 10 years ago. If you said natural gas, you're right. Call Midwest Natural Gas when you are ready for warm, efficient, and affordable energy. Natural gas, still your best energy choice.
Well, we'll take a look at the defensive side first here, Darren. The starting linebackers, Avery Gentry, Pierce Jackson, a junior and a senior, both 6 foot. Avery 190, Jackson is 175. Jackson has really led the team in all factions, 41 total tackles. He has 4 tackles for loss and a sack and a half last week. Also defended 2 passes, has 2 interceptions as well. Avery, in his second year starting as a junior, has 23 tackles, 4 and 9 assists, 1.5 sacks as well. Defensive ends have been Garrett Mason and Zach Fagel, as we talked about last week. The offensive linebackers, Kendall Williams and Chad Trent, another great game by the outside backers containing that outside area. 24 tackles for Kendall Williams. 3.5 of those are tackles for loss. Up front tonight, T.J. Pigg, junior 5'10", 230, and Dylan Morris. Of course, Dylan Morris' senior wreaked all sorts of havoc, 34 tackles. Boy, he put some huge hits on some people last week. Darren, the defensive backfield, Trey Passon, Mitch Everhart, Tyler Muir, and I got to say, they did a fabulous job last week. The snaps to the quarterback right for North Vermillion, he was ready to fire as soon as he got it. He could not throw it, and then the time enabled us to get pressure to the quarterback. On the offensive side of things, I think we're going to see some different things. Tyler Muir, the Miners' leading runner of 550 yards, 57 attempts, 10 touchdowns, 9.7 yards per carry. But I think we're going to see a heavy dose of number 10, Chad Trent, as well. Chad, not inexperienced. He started all year last year. He has thrown a touchdown pass. Not going to have the wheels, perhaps, that Tyler will have, but we'll see him pass the ball. Garrett Mason is the fullback, a junior, 5'7", 190. He has 257 yards, a couple of scores. Mitch Eberhard had the big game a couple of weeks back against, I guess that was Sullivan, and really has only carried the ball a handful of times, 412 yards, but still a 10.8 per carry average. Pierce Jackson now 35 carries, 255 yards, 2 TDs, by far the leading receiver. He's caught 13 of the total of about 18 passes thrown, 255, 2 touchdowns. Zach Faley, the tight end, Jacob Clothier, the wide receiver. I think we're also going to see a little bit of Avery Gentry at tight end, and we're probably going to see some other guys, as you mentioned, Kendall Williams, maybe some of the other guys there. Up front tonight, 2 guys are going to be at the start. Levi Gerald's his first start. He's just a sophomore, 6'2", 280 at left tackle, alongside Morris at guard. Briar Pope still the center. Chance Howard going to get the nod to the right guard position. He's another sophomore, 6', 175. And Owen Sparks going to be the tackle, 5'8", he's not 100. I got to look at that one again. He's 215. Quick look quickly at the Springs Valley Blackhawks. Quarterback is sophomore Braden Whitaker, 6', 180. He's just run the ball 4 times, -3. He's 19 of 31 passing for 320 yards. He's thrown 4 picks, 2 TDs. O'Brien not going to be in the backfield tonight, so it'll be Wyatt Perkheiser. He just has 11 carries for 27 yards. Hunt Reynolds, at 6', 220. He's got 22 carries, 83 yards as senior fullback. Wide receiver is Hector Walker. He leads them with 12 catches, 183 yards. And Remington Allen is a junior tight end with 3 catches, 83. Perkheiser has caught 10 passes out of the backfield as well. Up front, pretty young. Colton Reynolds is just a freshman, 6'1", 250 at tackle. Daniel Green is the lone senior, 5'9", 185 at guard. Chase Casilius is a junior, 6'1", 180 at center. Jacob Bates, a junior, 6'1", 255 at guard. And Tristan Hart, another junior, 5'10", 200 at the tackle position. Quickly defensively, much of the same names. Hunt Reynolds, Daniel Green at inside backer. Reynolds with 41 tackles as the team's leading tackler. Remington Allen and Matt Kalb, a 5'10", 185 senior, are the 2 outside backers. Hector Walker is the defensive end. Casilius and Bates, the defensive tackles. Josiah McTeer is a 6'1", 220 defensive end. Backfield is Isaac Brown, last year's quarterback. Ezra Butler, number 30, and Perkheiser. Maybe he won't see as much action. 23, Zach Carnes may get in there to relieve him. That was a mouthful.
Coach of the Blackhawks, Justin Scheller, he's in his second season here at Springs Valley, has a record of 3 wins and 10 losses. And the coach of the Linton Miners, of course, Brian Oliver, he's in his 3rd season here, a record of 28-3. And I, too, want to congratulate, I didn't get a chance to see him at school this week, but congratulate Coach Oliver on that Indianapolis Colts Coach of the Week honor. And I know that when I go to my Colts games, that it's always nice to see. And I always thought, man, Coach Oliver's done a good job. We need to get him up there, so it'll be nice to see him get that honor come December 20th.
That was a big highlight game last week in the state. Just I was trying to pose the question this week in regular seasons. Hard to beat that one. I mean, we went to Sheridan a couple of years ago, and that was a big win for the program. Sectionals and regionals are always big wins if you get them, but in terms of a regular season, that was one of the biggest wins and a great effort by the whole entire coaching staff. Very humble as Coach Oliver. Yeah, I mean, he almost was shy. If he could have blushed, he would have blushed. I don't really think he wanted the credit for it, but as he is, he made sure that his coaches got mentioned.
Well, last year the Miners were 66-13 winners over Springs Valley, and over the last 30 years, these teams have met 20 times, with the Miners picking up 17 wins.
Well, you're old enough too, Darren, like myself, that you remember when Springs Valley had a really tough football program. I believe they won the state. If I could see down there, my eyes aren't good enough to see it, but there was a time when in this area they were the kings of the hill to beat, and we had a couple of really big tussles with them back in the 90s, and they knocked us out of the sectionals in the early 2000s as well. They seem to have the size. They just can't seem to really put that year together. They beat Paoli, they beat Mitchell, but I think they got to be disappointed with that 50-0 shellacking last week with West Washington.
Very much so. Springs Valley won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so the Miners will receive. The kickoff for tonight's game is sponsored by Bobe's Switch City. You can kick off your evening with the best pizza, sandwiches, and sides from Bobe's. You're just a phone call away, so call right now, 659-BOBE. That's 659-2623, and Amy will have it ready when you get there. Bobe's Switch City open at 4 p.m. every Wednesday through Sunday. So the Miners will get the ball first. Springs Valley in their home black jerseys with white numbers and yellow Blackhawk wing on their helmets.
A lot of those schools, anything to do with any kind of flying apparatus school, they're all going with that. Eastern has that it's the Oregon kind of wing look.
I think the college trickle down we see as much as, when it's time for those new jerseys, I think that's what you're going to see a lot of. Looks like kicking off will be number 50. I can't get the
Green,
other,
number 54.
Number 54, Daniel Green.
Well, I'll say this to Darren. I'm not a big fan of college teams changing their entire look week after week. I know it's a neat thing maybe, but gosh, I like having that the trademark. You don't even know who's playing when you turn on the TV.
That's about right. Every now and then's fine, I think. Obviously, high school teams don't have the budget, most of them, to do that kind of stuff, but Eberhardt and Muir back deep to receive. The Miners will go right to left in the first quarter. And we're just about ready to get things started here at Springs Valley. We are located on the home side in the press box. Air conditioning tonight, Dan.
It got unexpectedly hot today, and they talked about maybe rain later, but I'm hearing clear skies tonight.
And Green approaches the ball, gives it a kick. Going to be a short kick to the right-hand side. Going to be fielded about the 32-yard line. And I believe that was Corbin that caught that. He'll get it back out over to the 35-yard line to the 36, and that's where the Miners will take over on their first series.
Very few people are going to kick the ball deep to the likes of Eberhardt or anybody else the Miners put back there. But Corbin's had a couple of almost game breakers to Tecumseh in particular. They got that right about the 35, don't they?
Just over the 35, so statistically, Dan, that'll be the 36, and in the in the backfield with Muir is Garrett Mason. 3 wide receivers to the near side, so trips left for the Miners on the first play. Snap to Muir, comes right out to the left side. Clothier with the catch, and they tried to set up that quick bubble screen out there. Going to pick up out to about the 39-yard line. We'll call it 3 and make it 2nd and 7.
Tackled by Perkheiser, and again, that's something we really haven't seen all year, and that's what I think we're going to work on, the short game. We've hit a couple of bomb passes. You missed that pass last week to Pierce Jackson. That was a beauty.
I was watching at the time, so that was nice. Trips right this time for the Miners. They'll stick with the 3 receivers to the right. Mason with Muir. Muir going to keep it this time. Going to be wrapped up quickly.
Oh, my.
Going to be back to about the 37-yard line. So a 2-yard loss back to the 37, going to bring up an early 3rd and 9 for the Miners.
Very untypical offense right there by the Miners, and you hope that's not an indication of lackadaisicalness that they're feeling. Jacob Bates is a big boy, and he was right in the grill and lost yards right there.
Now you mentioned some new faces on that Miner line tonight. We'll see how they hold up. Runner in motion, handoff, Eberhardt up the middle, going to get it over the 40, spun ahead out to the 44-yard line, going to be short of the first down, and Coach Oliver with an early decision to make.
I think you'll see him go for it.
Going to be 4th down and 2 here from the 44.
23 Carnes was on that tackle, and like you say, right here, right off the bat, this is almost exactly where we were on the field against North Vermillion. When in the booth, we were all really shocked. That was 4th and a long one. And here's the same situation.
Eberhardt on the right wing, Mason in the backfield, and they draw him off sides. That's one way to take care of it. The Miners with that hard count, and they'll get the first down by penalty.
And they've done that all year. They've done that historically, Darren. I know you keep the stats year and year. How many times did you mark this penalty off? And they just do all the way down into the youth leagues. That they must go to sleep with this kind of drill in their face.
Well, you just wonder about the defensive discipline there. You got to realize that that's a situation where they might try that. Muir takes a snap, rolls out to the right, looking to throw. Seth still looking downfield. Now he breaks a tackle, heads up. He's over the 50, down to the 45. Lowers his head, runs over a defender, gets it across the 40. Probably about the 38-yard line.
Totally ran over the cornerback out there. Perkaiser thought he was going to get him down, and then Kalb has to push him out of bounds. That's something that Tyler Muir brings to the table. It's hard to describe that on a radio. Hopefully you're watching this at lintonminers.com, because that's an unbelievable sight for the junior running back. He gets it all the way down to about the 39 of Springs Valley.
About the 38-yard line. Somebody on Miners sideline down. Muir takes the snap, hands it off this time to Mason, coming to the left side, cuts it back up, gets it down to the 30. Pickup of about 8, going to make it 2nd down and 2.
A nice job by Jacob Clothier. He could have easily got a call for hit in the back. Yeah, I'm trying to gander who we're looking at over there. It almost doesn't look like a player.
Dad.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a player. Didn't quite get out of the way.
Ball about the 30-yard line, going to be 2nd and 2.
And now we've got an official stopping the clock. See what's going to happen here. They must be going to be calling for the cart.
Yeah, they're bringing both teams over to the sideline here. So
well, I got the binoculars, Darren. I'm hesitant to really take a look at that, because I know your dad is down there as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him over there on the sideline, and I don't see him right now.
They are looking at the left ankle. Dr. Wilson is on him, and Darren, I hate to say this, but that almost could be your dad. He might have taken one of those shots to the. I mean, he doesn't. They got his sock off, looking kind of at his.
Dr. Wilson
toes.
looking it over there, so
he's not writhing in pain. He's a tough Clayton. But I can't see him, but it kind of looks like him. And like you say, I'm not seeing your dad walk across the sidelines. Has that ever happened when you've been down there, Darren?
In the 20 years I kept it, I got hit one time, and I was standing on a 15-yard line watching a guy go into the end zone, and 2 guys hit me from behind.
Oh,
they were
my
blocking
goodness.
15 yards from the play and ran into me. I wasn't even paying any attention. That was the only time I got hit.
Close to the action, and again, I can't get a clear shot. I'm not going to say with certainty, but see Coach Athletic Director Carazia heading over that way. He's looking like he's feeling around his ankle and down to his toes area.
We'll go ahead and take a 60-second break, come back with more action. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Someone who's down on the Miner sideline. That last play ran to the right side over there, and someone got taken out. We're not 100% sure who it is.
Well, they're putting on the sleeve that they always put on, and his leg is up. The knee is bent, and Dr. Wilson is kind of holding his left foot. This is an odd situation when your father's down on the sideline, and you know that's probably him. And the only thing I can say positive about it, Darren, is that he looks like he's stoic. When is he not stoic down there? But he's doesn't appear to be,
Right. On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, we got 9:42 left in the first quarter with this break in the action. No score yet. Miners are driving. They started at their own 36-yard line. They have it down to the 30-yard line right now. As we
had to convert a 4th and 1.
4th and 1 or 2.
and that was on a penalty.
Yeah, able to draw them off sides. Big play there for the Miners.
Well, you don't want to see any injuries on the field of play, but you don't want to see any injuries on the sideline as well. And like you say, that was right on the sideline. Muir was able to dodge a couple of guys and then got shoved out of bounds. And
he's usually pretty good about getting out of the way early.
Yeah.
He must have.
Well, I think Tyler fooled everybody because it looked like he was going to go down, and then he ran right over Perkaiser.
Maybe had a player or something in his way where he couldn't get out of the way.
Well, I keep saying that they're holding his lower leg, but the leg is still, it's in a bent position, and they're not straightening it out. So, I mean, maybe perhaps he took a shot to the knee, and I don't see any kind of dislocation or anything like that. But they're trying to summon a cart, I'm sure, down here. Normally you see these carts on
all over the place.
And I don't see anything. I know guys are running around trying to figure it out.
They're trying to get taken care of. I see police and everybody from Springs Valley side trying to help out. I think the Miners this year also have a trainer on their sideline, something we've not seen very much recently.
Is it a female?
I believe so.
Yeah, there's a blonde-headed lady that's down there right now. Really, she's doing the rapping, and Eric is kind of holding him. I wish I could get some confirmation for you, Darren, but the fact that we're not seeing your dad anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't see him anywhere else.
How long has your dad been down there doing these defensive stats?
Well, for the stats, he's probably been doing that somewhere around between 15 and 20 years, and then he was on the chain gang for a long time back in the 70s. Getting a little.
Chain gang is a thankless situation. So I think he just got some confirmation.
Just got some confirmation there, so. We'll go ahead and take another 60-second break and come back with more Linton Miner football. You're listening to QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports. Once again at Springs Valley High School, they continue to attend to what's been confirmed as my dad on the sideline.
Yeah, they've got the knee wrapped up, and it's nice that you got people coming over here carrying Darren that are trying to at least let you know what's happening.
It looks like a knee injury of some kind there. Couldn't get out of the way on the sideline.
Probably took a shot on the knee. A dislocated knee is better than a broken leg.
Yeah, hopefully they can get that. I'm just glad, they're taking their time and getting everything taken care of here, not rushing anything.
I think they've been ready to move him now for a while, though. I heard the familiar sound of the fire truck shooting in. Well, an auspicious start to the night. Darren, of course, you missed last week the death of an uncle, and not only that, you got to miss a battle between two hardcore 118. We were glad to have you back in the booth, and now we're not even at the 9-minute mark, and your dad's got possibly dislocated knee.
Yeah. Been down there a lot of years. I don't ever remember him taking any kind of hits. So, you watch a lot of plays between being on the chain gang and keeping the stats and all that. He's been down there a lot of years. So,
well, the area that's about the 36-yard line. That's the break. The stopping point is what, the 35, 25?
For the players, it's the 25.
And so you got to figure down there were a whole lot of people probably bunched together, and he was probably right on that sideline and might have been nowhere to go. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you about this, Darren, while I'm sitting there, and one of the things I keep is the red zone opportunities and, of course, possessions for the Miners all year. And Right now we've had 43 possessions. We've scored on 58% of those, 25 times. The red zone been pretty good, 14 in the scoring. Our opportunities, 20 of them. We've put it in the end zone 70% of the time, 4. We've only allowed the other team in the red zone 8 times, and of those 8 times, they've only scored 4 times. So that's a pretty good effort for a team defensively going into the year. I think we felt like we were going to be pretty strong, and I really think I think we've actually been better than what I think people thought we might be.
I agree. I mean, I thought this team had a chance to be good, returned a lot of starters, and you know, you always think, is this going to be the year they slip just a little? You know, maybe not a lot, just a little, but they just continue to move right along and move forward, and now it's gone from will they slip a little bit to is this the team that's going to take that next step?
The inevitable discussions that always happen, and that's a great discussion to be involved in because a lot of schools never experience any kind of winning. And yeah, there have been some years. I can distinctly think of 2004, 2008. Those 2 years the teams were graduated at just stellar classes, and you thought, well, and then next thing you know, you're 9-0 again and fighting. And I think the team a couple of years ago after we lost Hayden and Rupska and Stahl and that crew was going to be a tough one, and yet they were right back up at fighting North Vermilion last year for a regional title.
We may have to let the players stretch out a little bit here after this. This has been a lengthy delay.
I'm really kind of a shocked that they've not yet. Well, I see the fire truck guy.
The EMT fire truck people did finally get here, so.
But I can't say we've seen any movement. Maybe they don't have a gator. Everybody has a gator, don't they?
Well, I would think so. I would think so.
Well, that's an awkward position to be in. I keep wanting to say if you need to go down there, you know, if you feel like you need to head that way.
Well, the only thing I might need, he drove tonight of all nights.
My goodness.
He drove down here, so he does have.
He will not be driving home.
Two or three guys with him, so making sure those guys are able to get back to Linton is a little bit of a. I'm not sure where the hospital in Paoli, I would assume.
You know, I don't know that if there's one in this area. Surely there's a hospital close by.
I would think the closest may be Paoli. Now these guys look like they were unprepared. They're coming back across the field. This is.
Yeah,
I mean, don't you have to have an ambulance on site at a game?
I tell you what, I agree. Again, usually you look down to either side and you see ambulances all over the place. In fact, there's usually more. You think if there's anything happening in the city, there wouldn't be able to get there. That's the way Murphy's Law operates, though, Darren. I mean, usually you're overly prepared for something, and this time around, it doesn't look like anybody was thinking about it. If it, you know, you'd hate to think if this had really been a serious emergency type situation where somebody
a player got knocked out or something. Or
well, a case in point would be Whitey a few years ago when he had a heart situation.
Absolutely.
Within seconds.
That was
probably one of the more memorable things I've ever witnessed in all of my years.
Very, very scary.
Fortunately, we're not looking at that situation, but his days of roaming the sidelines and keeping defensive stats for a while could be.
He may have to join us.
Set him up here. Then again, Darren, he'd have to climb these stairs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So 9:42 left in the first quarter. If you're just tuning in, my dad was taken out on a play over on the sideline on the far side, and they've still not been able to get him moved away.
Now, did you ever expect to utter those words on the radio?
No, not at all.
Man, I know it sounds like we're joking about it, but it's you know, he's obviously going to be okay. It's not not
right.
A life and death thing, but I don't want to talk about how old he is, but
they must feel like that where he's located over there, it's potential danger if something, if another play goes that direction.
Well, he's not more than. I mean, he's behind that second white line over there, but here comes the stretcher finally. They got a pretty good, decent minor turnout over there.
Got to go all the way across the field.
Yeah, I was waiting for they simply must not have one of those gators. I thought that was universal on a football field.
I'm going to answer this. This is my mom calling, so I'll let you have it in a minute.
I'll give a discussion about what they take a look at our sectional field as we wait to see what's happening down there. Miners, of course, are in the sectional 48, heavily favored in sectional 48. Right now, Perry Central is also a 4-0 squad. But the knock so far on the Commodores is they really haven't faced anybody to test them. The Miners, of course, beat Speedway, Sullivan, Tecumseh, and North Vermilion. And those combined teams, Tecumseh and North Vermilion, are both 3-1. Sullivan is 2-2. Whereas Perry Central is coming off a 28-14 win over Paoli. That's a team that Springs Valley had beaten even worse. They've also beaten winless Crawford County, winless Tell City, and 1 3/4 Park, only by 5. So Perry Central is 4-0, but yet they've really hasn't faced anybody. A big game in Sectional 48 tonight is in Linville, where the Perry Central squad takes on Tecumseh, and that might give us a little bit more idea what's happening. Another big game in 48 would have to be North Central. Farmersburg is traveling to Bicknell to face North Knox. North Knox, of course, 2-2. Got their big win last week over Wood Memorial, but the bigger news with them is Caden Fields is just put up ginormous numbers in the loss with Heritage Christian, 400-plus yards rushing, 300-plus yards rushing last week. It'll be a test tonight to see how North Central handles that. Also a test to see how if North Knox's defense can get improved. North Central lost their starting quarterback to a collarbone of week 1. They lost to West Vigo. West Vigo's 3-1 in 3A. Then they beat North Davies. They got a double overtime win over Rockville and beat Turkey Run. So this is one of those games, 2 games in Sectional 48, I think, tonight that a lot of people are going to be watching. Maybe some separation factor. And Darren, you're back, and hopefully your mother's doing okay.
Yeah, she was doing okay. Just calling Seb to keep her posted and let her know what was going on. So it looks like we're going to get him into the ambulance there and be able to get back to action. And I'll have to find out where I have to go to check on him on my way home.
Yeah. Well, it's an ambulance from IU Health. Maybe we can find out somebody up here that's more familiar with the area. With the 2 resorts here, you almost wonder there's not a smaller. But they probably, if he's not life or death, maybe go ahead and take him to. I don't know how far we are from Bloomington.
They might go that far. We're a pretty good chunk from Bloomington.
Yeah.
My guess is Paoli probably has a facility. So.
Well, the other game that would be going on in 48, Tell City is got a tough one going to Boonville. Boonville just 2-2. Tell City, they only got beat by 2 by Spike South Spencer 2 weeks ago, but they go to Pike Central, get hammered 36-13, and so that's a little bit of a surprise there. The other team would be Wood Memorial. Of course, they are facing it looks like Eastern Green tonight. Eastern Green 4-0, and they're in Sectional 47. The T-Birds off to the best start in school history. Even I know we didn't play them in week 1, and that probably would have been their sternest test. But Eastern Green is off to a good start, beating North Davies 41-0. They beat North Knox 26-24, and they beat these Blackhawks 40-24. So I think people are going to be looking at this game and the score and kind of see what happens there. But it's good to see the Eastern Green program kind of they got to be fired up over there.
Absolutely, and I'm sure both teams are kind of hoping that they are both undefeated when they play that Battle of the County game. And
well, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem rooting for Eastern, when they're not playing the minors. And it's funny because as I've done the basketball games throughout the last 4 years, and I do a lot of games where it's county schools playing against out-of-county schools, and I got a great appreciation for all the area coaches and players, both on the boys and girls side, football, basketball, baseball, and all the volleyball, all the sports. A great appreciation for what the coaches do, because I've been on that side of it, and I know the time and the effort and all that they have to put in. So
yeah, my dad was there too. So I growing up watching what happens behind the scenes, what happens at home, how you have to deal with situations that in today's age, obviously it's a lot different than our age when the coach was almost like a second father, and what he said go went. Oops, I get some trouble there for my grammar. But yeah, it's good to see that if they can beat us in week 8 undefeated, it's going to take some work. They got North Central and they got 3A Mount Vernon Posey, as the Miner fans are on their feet clapping for Darren's father.
And we'll get back to some football action here. But
we've exhausted all of our side
everything for halftime.
Yeah,
and everything is all gone.
Tell us how
now.
these trees grow across the way, Darren, and what actually makes that color green. Well, you teach economics this year, so maybe the presidential debates have been quite the topic of discussion. So they say you should never talk religion and politics. So
Players going to do a little running out here to get re-loosened up. Springs Valley defense making their way back out on the field, along with a few others. So it looks like they're going to spend a few minutes getting re-stretched out here. Just over 2 minutes into the first quarter, so still early, and not early on the clock, already 7:30, and be just about ready to get back to action here. We'll go ahead and take one more 60-second break. You're listening to Linton Minor Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
On the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, no score with 9:42 left here in the first quarter, and looks like we're ready to get back to action here. Appreciate all those of you sending me texts and instant messages, and I'm sure he'll be okay. I'll get him checked on after the game here, but appreciate all your thoughts as we get ready to head back to action here. Muir in the shotgun. Mason joins him in the backfield. Eberhard on the right wing, receivers both left and right. Fakes a handoff, throws it to the right side. Deep, looks like Jackson or Clothier, and it's going to be Clothier for the touchdown.
Boy,
nice
that was
ball.
a pretty fade pass, and the defender out there didn't turn around and look. Clothier just ran under it. He put it right in the breadbasket. I don't know the defender could do anything about that.
Beautiful throw.
That looked like that was just a Saturday afternoon pitch and catch right there.
Absolutely. This little play action, fake the handoff to Mason up the middle, hits Clothier streaking down that right-hand side, and the Miners put the first points on the board on the first play back from the break.
That's the second touchdown catch of the year for Clothier.
Wilson with the extra point attempt. Kick is up and going to be good. So 9:31 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners go on top 7-0. And I think, unless I missed something last week, Dan, I believe Luke still hasn't missed as long as he's been able to get the kick away.
Yeah, 3 perfect strikes, and the only negative in the kicking game, and we've talked about it, has been the blocked extra points. It came back to haunt us. We got that kick blocked right up the gut. So that's 4 blocks. Other than that, Luke is showing great range, and Coach wasn't even shy at all about saying, hey, I trust him from 25 to 30. And in 1A football, to have a solid kicker is a great thing.
Absolutely. Springs Valley returning kick for the first time. Back deep to receive Wyatt Perkiser and Zach Carnes. Perkiser and Carnes both sophomores on this Blackhawks squad. Wilson will tee it up on the 40-yard line.
And this, again, is where they lose a lot without having O'Brien Selby back there. He had a 75-yard return against us last year.
See a few different people out there. Well, I mean, same usually, but we like to get those names out there, the people that are on this return team. You see some of the regulars, but also Chance Howard. He's done a nice job on this kickoff team all year long. Also see out there 72, that's Ben Burris.
Yeah, and he's a regular on that kickoff team.
Cody Corbin, 52, that's Howard. 22, Kendall Williams. So there are some familiar faces. Wilson gets ready to kick it off from the 40-yard line. Approaches the ball, gives it a boot, end over end, down the middle of the field, going to bounce it about the 15, taking it to 10, and coming to the right-hand side, and he's going to break a tackle there, heading back to the left-hand side, now stopped in the middle of the field. And on the return, that was Wyatt Perkiser, and Springs Valley going to take over right around the 20-yard line. When you can pin a team at the 20, you've done a good job in high school.
Yeah, good coverage. 2 or 3 guys had a shot of him, and he went left to right. I can see what they mean by Perkiser being kind of shifty. He was able to turn directions and come back, and finally Gentry comes in there to put him down.
Looked like he was going to get brought down quickly there and broke one. Springs Valley the first time. Quarterback Whitaker, I believe it is, out of the shotgun. Runner comes in motion, handoff up the middle. Perkaiser takes it towards the left-hand side, gets it just barely over the 20, might have got a yard.
Chased down by Dylan Morris, number 78 from defensive tackle position.
And they're going to put it right back down where it was on the 20-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 10, no gain. And here's one of those quarterbacks, Dan, we talked about it a few weeks ago. He ran all the way over to the sideline to get the play and has to run all the way back out. So Braden Whitaker, 6'1" sophomore at quarterback.
He's got some pretty good size for a sophomore kid.
How about this wide receiver out here, Hector Walker, 6'3", 215. He's a good-sized kid out here on the right side.
The passing is on him, and that's a big difference in size.
Whitaker takes the snap, gives it up the middle, and Reynolds is going to be stopped at about the 20-yard line. Dylan Morris in there on the tackle amongst other Miners.
2 plays, 2 tackles from Morris, and he barely gets across the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. That was fullback Hunt Reynolds. Hunt Reynolds is one of those guys that he was injured last year, didn't play against us, but he's been, I think, a starter since his freshman year.
3rd and 10 now for the Blackhawks. Whitaker still has Reynolds in the backfield. Out of the shotgun, 2 wide receivers to each side, a slot and a wide out. Takes the snap, drops the pass, looks to the right side, fires it out in the flat, finds the receiver, he'll turn it up, going to get the first down. That's going to be passed to Zach Carnes.
Flag. Oh, come on.
And a flag at the end. Going to go on Pierce Jackson. The referee having a little conversation with him, so it'll be a first down for the Blackhawks, and then they'll get a second first down on the 15-yard penalty.
I think Pierce was upset with himself as, at 23, I believe that is Zach Carnes was just wide open, and he got out to about the, the 27-yard line, and now they're going to add 15 yards.
So the play went to the 31, and the penalty will take it out to the 46. So a big game for the Blackhawks, as I have it 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line. Once again, 2 wide receivers to each side. Reynolds in the backfield along with Whitaker out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, going to look to pass again, comes again to the right side. This time it's completed out there to Walker, and he's going to be down just over the 50 into Miner territory at the 49-yard line.
Passing was right there to make the tackle, but actually Walker had kind of gone down to a knee to make the catch, but working on that short passing game, and it's just across into the Miner territory at the 49.
Pick up a 5, makes it 2nd and 5, and you think you got to watch out for there's a little pump and go of some kind. If you don't get pressure, then could be an issue.
Body language-wise, the Miners just not nearly in the zone as they were against North Vermilion.
Whitaker again out of the shotgun. Reynolds with him. 2 wide receivers to each side. Going to throw again. Pressure up the middle and going to be brought down at the right back at midfield.
So he's going to lose yards, so that'll go as a sack. The pressure came from Miller, number 41. He's in for Jackson, probably getting a talking to, and finished that off was Dylan Morris.
So the ball goes back to midfield. It'll be 3rd down and 6. 6:50 left here in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Pierce comes back in, rather. Miller, rather, back to the bench. 3rd down. Big play here from midfield. Whitaker out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the left. Walker by himself to the right. Takes the snap, looks Walker's way, got the slant. They hit him at the 45. Going to be they're going to give him a generous spot. First, going to be a first down, I believe. Pretty generous spot there that time.
He was hit immediately by Passon, but Passon may be guarding against that.
And they're not going to give him the first down. Going to be 4th down in inches. Now they're going to measure. I didn't think he got over the 45 myself. And we're looking right down that line.
He was hit as soon as he caught it, but either way, Springs Valley is going to go for this. Having success on that just little 5 and up pass, and Walker a big target, as you said, and Passon has done a great job this year defending the pass, but he's given up quite a bit of size and in height, and they are about football length away.
Yeah, not even that, I don't believe. So inches short, it'll be 4th and inches. But, I'm sure they've scouted the Miners, and they're just quick throws. They're not giving that rush a chance to get in there.
Yeah, because we're seeing blitzes. Avery Gentry, I think, is coming, as well as Miller. He went as well on that first, how he got pressure. That's Luke Miller, a junior. Boy, they are 5 receivers deep this time.
Kind of interesting on a 4th and inches play. Backfield cleared out. It's just the quarterback. He's in the shotgun.
Yeah, I'd watch that quarterback sneak.
And did the Miners get into the neutral? Nope, we took a timeout. Springs Valley going to take the timeout here.
They saw Jackson creeping up there.
Well, while they take a timeout, we'll let you know that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Midwest Satellite. If you're looking to reduce your TV bill, call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite in Linton to sign up for Dish Network. Packages starting as low as $19.99 a month. That includes free installation, free movie channels, and a free Hopper HD whole home DVR system. He will even pay $50 on your first bill. Again, don't call out-of-state numbers. Call Mike Moore at Midwest Satellite, 847-8848.
Well, Darren, I tried to put up the Media 5 Sports banner on the front. You can't reach it, but I tried to get it from across there, and I had it up, and it was up for a good hour and a half, and I noticed it was down. So if Jared and anybody down there happens to look around the front of the building on the ground and sees that banner there, you might grab that for me, because I know it will be quite the memento for somebody to take home.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that.
And Keith would not be happy with us.
I misplaced one last year.
So you know the wrath.
Once again, 4th and inches for Springs Valley. Now they go back with 2 in the backfield, 2 wide receivers to the right side. Whitaker trying to draw the Miners off. And now he hands it off up the middle, and Reynolds is going to get the first down.
Just barely. Miners hit him right off the bat.
Not by much, but it is going to be a first down.
Looks like Pig was one of the first guys in there, certainly not the only one.
And Dan, I'm not a great football guy, but I always wonder about these teams that run these shotgun sets, and that includes us on 4th and 1 or 4th and an inch. How do you snap that thing 3 or 4 yards back and then try to go get it?
It's been a perennial discussion in the annals of Linton football for many years, for many a reason. Only thing I can guess is you get momentum and you can pick a hole, but that's short of a distance. Why not just snap it under center and go?
Whitaker takes it, hands it off up the middle, and a few yards once again for Wyatt Perkiser. Going to get down to about the 42-yard line.
Avery Gentry again blitzing in, comes from the opposite side backer to make the tackle. But they'll take, I guess it's just a 2-yard gain, but Springs Valley's got to be pleased with their opening drive, aided by that personal foul penalty, but they still have been able to connect on passes, 3 for 3 for 20 yards.
Very much so. 2nd down and 8, 42-yard line. Runner in motion to the left. Whitaker takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out towards the left-hand side, and now he's going to throw, knocked away. Dylan Morris looked like J.J. Watt on that one in there, knocking that away.
Yeah, that, boy, I tell you what, they had Remington, I can't think of Remington's last name, 22.
Remington Allen.
They got a lot of guys that the last name could be the first name, but he was wide open going on a post route, flag route. And but Dylan Morse was able to get back there and knock that ball down, or that could have been 6.
3rd and 8 now for Springs Valley. Ball at the 42-yard line of Linton. 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Reynolds a single back in the backfield with Whitaker. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, looks right, nowhere to go. Now comes back left, now still nowhere to go, and he's going to pretty much throw it away.
That's a nice effort by the sophomore quarterback. Pierce Jackson came from the weak side and forced him to go to his left. And again, a couple of Miners were out there. Chad Trent's going to get the pressure. Pass intended for Perkiser in the flats.
Whitaker really had a lot of poise there. Looked like he went through his reads and just didn't find anybody downfield to throw it to. And now decision for Springs Valley here with the ball at the 42. Looks like they're going to punt.
Wow.
But you do have to look out because the punter is Hector Walker.
Yeah. And he did keep it a couple times I saw on film, and he also tried to pass the ball once. I'm really surprised they're punting the ball.
And play that field position game here, and he is going to punt it. So it's over to the left-hand side, and it's going to take a Springs Valley bounce and now come back a Linton bounce. And it looks like the Miners going to take over at about the 20-yard line. So couldn't quite pin him inside the 20, but still a decent punt down there to the 20.
Punted away from the Miner carrier.
So the Miners will take back over their second possession. 5:03 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Miners on top 7-0. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Southside Express in Linton. Southside Express has everything you need when you're in a hurry and is locally owned and operated. So Muir is still at quarterback.
Took 6 plays, 65 yards on their first drive down to put the first points on the board.
Normal set, Jackson in motion. He gets the handoff, and he's stuffed immediately. And he may lose 2 or 3 yards here.
Trying to see who that was. That was number 19, McTeer. That's two plays that I don't know that we even saw happen last week at North Vermillion. Negative yards carried.
So it's going to be 2nd and 12 for the Miners, back to the 18-yard line. Once again, Muir going to keep this time, comes to the left side and still fighting for yards and doesn't get very far.
Well, we talked about in the pregame, Darren, that we're going to have some different guys in there in the offensive line, and so far, Springs Valley's doing a pretty good job on that interior.
Well, you also mentioned they wanted to control the line of scrimmage, and right now on this drive, they've done that. It'll be 3rd and 10 for the Miners.
Bates, 73, was in there again. Very untypical.
Muir
for the
rolls
Miners.
out to the left side, looks back to the right, nowhere to go. Now he runs right back into a couple of Blackhawk defenders, and he's going to lose back to the 16, and the Miners will probably have to punt here.
Yeah, Allen, 22, the first one to get there, as well as getting off the bottom of the pile is Green, 54. And the Miners, he had time to throw the ball, and Wisely didn't throw across the field. That was where we got picked off, but unable to escape. And one of the very few 3-and-outs for the Miner offense. I would suspect that the offensive coaches are going to sit the offensive line and have a little discussion with them.
Absolutely. Kendall Williams in to punt the football here. Now you got to watch out that something doesn't go wrong on special teams, and that's one of those things that, we talked about. Everything's got to click. Williams takes a good snap, gets the punt away. Nice punt. Going to get all the way out to midfield, takes a Miner bounce, and they get out of the way of it. It's going to roll all the way down inside the 25, almost to the 25-yard line. Nice punt.
Well, he did a great job last week at North Vermillion in a very, very tough contest. 3 nice punts. I think he got out of there. I'm sure Perkheiser probably will be told you got to grab that ball, but I'll be able to tell you how long that was.
59, I believe. That's a heck of a punt for anybody, even at the big levels there. That's a nice punt. It was a line drive. When it bounced, it took off and rolls all the way down to the 25. And that's where Springs Valley will take it. I thought that Perkheiser had a chance to maybe field that on the hop and elected not to.
I'm sure he'll be told, hey, because they lost a good 15, 20 yards just on that.
Whitaker back in the shotgun, 2 backs in the backfield. Perkheiser and Reynolds. And this time it's going to be a sweep left to Perkheiser. Still trying to find a place to turn it up the field. Lots of flags flying. My guess is that's going to be a hole, and it's going to negate that run.
Nice job by Chad Trent on the right outside backer. He ends up making the tackle along with another Miner out there, I think Gentry, but that flag, 2 flags flew, and the holding is going to be the call.
So that'll back up the Blackhawks 10 yards from where that flag ended up, where the holding occurred, unless the Miners elect to, can't imagine they'd decline that. Now they're going to back it up. So that's going to be first down over again, this time from the 15-yard line. So first
in that case, the ball carrier really gets no credit for a carry because there was no yards gained.
Right. If it's no yards, or if it ends up even as a negative, he doesn't get any credit. If he makes positive, then he gets it.
My stat keeping will get a whole lot improved.
Whitaker and Reynolds going to be in the backfield here. 2 wide receivers to each side. Whitaker waits for the snap, takes it. Pressure from the Miners. He's going to roll out to the right. He needs to get rid of it. He does so over toward the sideline. Picked off by Kendall Williams.
Ill-advised pass, pressure from Dylan Morris, intended for Zach Carnes, and that one was easy pickings for Kendall Williams.
So Kendall gets about a 2 or 3 yard return, and the Miners are going to have it 1st and 10 at the Springs Valley 10-yard line. So right there in the red zone as they take over possession here.
Well, they had done a nice job sticking the Miners to 3 and out and then make them the mistake that's going to give the Miners the ball in the red zone.
See if the Miners try to strike quick here. Mason joins Muir. Jackson in motion. Now Muir going to roll out. Oh, had an open man. Now he's going to keep it himself. Going to get it down inside the 10. May get a couple of yards. Looks like Figley may have been open over the middle that time.
He's just not getting much time. Remington Allen was there again, 22, and Green, 54. He's seeing a lot more pressure that he's not used to seeing. So offensive line is not gelling quite yet.
So maybe a yard or two. Looks like it's at about the 9-yard line. Maybe the 8. 2nd down in goal for the Miners. Jackson again in motion. He'll take it sweeping to the right side. Going to try to get around the corner. Turns it up, and he's going to be stopped inside the 5, maybe the 3 or 4 yard line.
Perkheiser did a nice job of making sure that he got just enough of his leg to bring him down. He had to outrun the left side defensive end. Again, Pierce really did most of that on his own.
Looks like they're going to mark it at the 5, so third down. Be interesting here to see if the Miners, if they don't score, go for the field goal.
And I would think we probably would do that to get some work for the kicker, although the score really 155 in the first quarter is still 7-0.
Mason up the middle, and it's not going to matter.
He's in.
Into the end zone. Garrett Mason with the touchdown for the Miners. So we are going to get to watch Wilson kick, but it'll be the extra point and not the field goal. So nice run by Mason up the middle. So with 1:54 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners go on top 13-0, and they look to make it 14 here with the extra point. Wilson lines up, snaps good, kicks up.
Oh,
man, that's going to be good. Nice kick by Luke Wilson.
Right down the pike. The snap was perfect by Kendall Williams. The hole by Trey Passon, and boy, he put that one right down the pike.
Right down the middle. So with 1:54 left in the first quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners are on top 14-0 back in 30 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
And we're back at Springs Valley High School. The Miners take advantage of the Valley mistake of an interception after Valley had stopped the Miners, and it just takes 3 plays. And the Miners are able to push it across with Garrett Morris going in for the touchdown from 5 yards out. Wilson will now tee off the kick to the Blackhawks. Score now 14-0 in the opening quarter. The Miners, though, still have not looked very sharp offensively, playing without some regular guys. Nothing too serious injury-wise, but getting some different guys in there. Here comes the kick from Wilson. Last one went all the way down to the 10. This one goes to the 10 as well. Right up the middle, and he's drilled by Miller and Kendall Williams. That is number 21 Perkheiser on the carry. Gets to the 21-yard line. And that's where the Blackhawks will take over the ball. Pretty good back-to-back kicks by Wilson down to the 10-yard line. And the Blackhawks, who had their first drive, did get to Miner territory from about the 21-yard line. Direct snap to Whitaker, and he hands it off. Looks like to 42. That's going to be Reynolds, the fullback. He tries the left side of the line. He's met by Chad Trent, as well as it looks like getting off the bottom of the pile. Could be Dylan Morris as well. Didn't really get much, maybe a yard out of that.
Second down 9 for the Blackhawks. Under a minute and a half left here now in the first quarter. Once again, Walker comes out to the right side, joined out there by Perkheiser. 2 backs in the backfield this time for the Blackhawks. Whitaker out of the shotgun, takes the snap, going to look to pass, comes out to the right side, and Williams had maybe another opportunity there.
Yeah, he was eyeballing that one. They was going to Perkheiser on the quick out, but Williams was reading that one pretty well, and he would have had 6 that time.
So that'll bring up a third down and 9 now for the Blackhawks. New personnel coming out. I think they went with the 2 tight end set that time.
Yeah, that's what they were famous for. Them and a wide spread like that is kind of a different thing.
Whitaker comes back from the sideline, back out to the huddle with the play. 2 wide receivers. Actually, it's going to be trips right this time. Single wide receiver to the left side. Whitaker, the lone back in the backfield, out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, going to come right side quickly. Pass caught by Perkheiser, looking to break a tackle. Gets out over the 25 to the 26, not near enough for the first down, and Springs Valley will probably have to punt again here.
Yeah, you would think they would definitely there. That time Walker went deep. Patson stayed with him, and who makes the tackle downfield but Dylan Morris, the defensive tackle. He's already racking up a lot of tackles tonight. Out to the 26-yard line.
Quite an asset for your football team on both sides of the football is Dylan Morris. And Springs Valley is indeed lining up to punt. Muir going to be back deep to return for the Miners.
Can't imagine you would ever want to kick the ball to Tyler Muir.
I can't either.
And they really don't. Most teams are aiming that ball kind of towards the out of bounds.
Walker takes a snap, going to aim it to the right this time and get off the side of his foot. And that's going to hit. It takes a nice Springs Valley bounce, ends up back into Linton territory, going to go out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. They're going to call it the 40. Coming up and goes all the way up to midfield. That ball landed inbounds and rolled. So I think he.
Not sure what they were looking at.
I know they go by when it crosses the boundary line, but that ball hit inbounds and bounced up the field. So that.
Strange, because that's right in front of us, right in front of the Springs Valley staff.
I'm surprised. I mean, that's easily 6 yards difference.
That was a tightrope act by the actual football.
So the Miners take back over. Just 7.6 seconds left in the first quarter, right at midfield. Muir going to look to throw again. Goes deep again, looking for Clothier out there, and it is incomplete. I think both guys had a chance to catch that.
Yeah, going down. Perkheiser looked like the one who was going to get it. Clothier kind of played good defense there, but looked like Clothier might take it out of his hands.
He's got really good hands, and it tried to come up with that one. Both players, I think, at some point probably felt like they were going to catch that.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Miners at the 50. And how many passes have we thrown already?
That is the 4th pass. No, we're 2 of 3 for 34.
Okay.
Went for it all on that one.
Out of the shotgun, the double handoff this time, and Jackson falls down.
He fell down because big Jacob Bates, number 73, again from the defensive tackle, kind of winning that battle. The coaching staff for Springs Valley pretty pumped up.
So a loss of a yard or two, they're going to bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Miners here. And we don't see them go backwards very often.
No, we've seen more behind lost plays tonight than I think I can remember really, certainly all season long.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. At the end of 1 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, it's Linton 14, Springs Valley 0. Back in 30 seconds, this is a Media 5 sports production.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
I'm Darren Clayton along with Dan Phillips. We just finished up the first quarter here.
And it's a little misleading. 14-0 is a score, but Miners have not looked super sharp. Granted, we've got some different changes going on the offensive line. We still have 60 yards in the first quarter to their 29. And really it was their interception pass thrown that gave us the ball at the 19-10, really, that allowed us to really score.
A big play for the offense here. 3rd down and 11 from the Miner 45, or the 49 rather. Up the middle to Mason, cuts it to the right side, finds running room, rams over the defender and gets the first down. Loses his helmet at the end of the play, so he'll have to take a play off. He ran all the way down to the 36.
Ran right over Isaac Brown, and Isaac Brown gets up holding his left arm, and he's a senior leader. And the way he's holding that arm, you got to wonder if something's happened to his wrist.
He's making his way off the field here.
That was some physical bruteness right there. Garrett Mason just running right over. Carnes is going to bring him down, but he's down at the 36-yard line of Springs Valley.
1st and 10, normal set for the Miners. Williams in for Jackson. Muir takes the ball, gives it to Eberhardt. He cuts it up the middle now, has some running room. One more tackle if he breaks that when he's going to score. He gets it all the way down to the 20 for another first down.
Yeah, if he breaks it to the left, Darren, he's on his way to the end zone. Nice tackle by Carnes out there. But again, Mitch had that humongous game. And I think people thought, well, he's going to have it's going to be his show, and then had one carry the next week. And that's how the Miner offense has done so well.
Williams stays in the game, and now we see Avery Gentry come in at tight end. Pierce going to move in and take Mason's place as he takes the play off. Clothier out wide left. Muir out of the shotgun, takes the snap, going to look to throw, rolls out to the left side, fires the pass towards the end zone. tried to find Kendall Williams, I believe, incomplete.
Yeah. Just a hair too far. Had a new guy out there, number 17 for them. That's Justin Johnson, a sophomore, in the game for Isaac Brown, who's getting some look at the 50-yard line. They look like they're looking at his shoulder. That's one thing you can't have in small school football is injuries.
Very much so. Second down, 10 for the Miners. Eberhardt going to take a break now. Miners go back to the 4 wide receivers set. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Mason in the backfield with Muir out of the shotgun. In motion is Williams, and they fake the jet sweep. Muir up the middle, has open field, cuts by the defender to the right side, and he'll take it into the end zone.
Yeah, one-on-one, you're not going to get Tyler Muir down. Nice fake inside. Williams came across, and there was a huge, huge hole that he ran straight up in, turned to the right, and a quick 6 points. Nice job by T. Pig in the right tackle position, all when Sparks was at the guard position. Still shifting some guys around to get some playing time, and that was more like the Miners that we've seen in the past.
Wilson again on to add the extra point. Snap is a little high, ball placed, kick in the air, and I believe he just knocked another one through. So Luke Wilson 3 for 3 on the extra points, and the Miners with 11:04 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard lead 21-0. We're going to keep it here. Let you know that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Highcom. Remember, you have a local option when deciding on a new security system from Highcom and Lions. Shop around. Highcom encourages you to do that. They are that confident in their product, price, and service. Cutting-edge technology that gives you control from your smartphone, plus affordability. Now that's worth checking out. Call Derek McKee at Highcom Security Services or go online at callhighcom.com. That's CALLHICOM.com.
6 plays, 50 yards for the Miners, featuring highlights by Mason, a 15-yard run on a 3rd and 11, 16-yard Eberhardt run, and then topped off by a 20-yard touchdown run by Tyler Muir.
So the Miners prepare to kick off again here early in the second quarter. And you already start wondering now if we're going to be on our way to a running clock in the second half.
Yeah, unless it gets, of course, it's just 11 minutes still to go in the second quarter.
So Wilson gets ready to kick off. Back deep to return once again are Perkaiser and Carnes.
See Billy Smith over on the far right side. Luke Miller, Trey Passett, Zach Fegley. I believe that's Burris, 72. Kendall Williams, Gentry, Corbin. 52 is,
52's Chance Howard.
Yeah.
Wilson's kick, end over end, middle of the field, taken there by the short man at the 20-yard line. Fielded by 22. That is Remington Allen. Breaks a tackle, gets it out over the 40 to the 45-yard line. So a nice run there by Remington Allen. Took the kick short.
Yeah, we were talking about batteries. I forgot to plug the computer in, and off it goes.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not sure where Allen took that ball from.
He caught it about the 20 and gets it all the way out to the 47, so good field position for Springs Valley here.
Well, we haven't seen a good return against the Miners for a while now. As you say, that was Remington Allen right up the gut. So Springs Valley is going to have it right off the nice field position for them.
2 backs in the backfield, two receivers to the near side. And someone in motion. Handoff goes to Perkaiser. Looks to get on the outside to the right. Flag comes flying in, and Perkaiser goes flying down.
Flag, and then the other official fires the flag in there as well. Allen ends up getting buried out there by 22, and that's going to be a holding penalty.
That ended up, see where they're going to put that down, where his forward progress was. I would think if it's a loss, the Miners might decline it.
You actually see Dylan Morris conversing. Usually they just look to the sideline.
Yeah. So it's going to be a 10-yard mark-off against the Blackhawks here. Going to bring up a first down again and make it about 20. So they mark it down at the 38-yard line, so they actually only walk off 9. That's a spot foul, so where it happens from.
Power back up.
So first down over again, single back in the backfield with Whitaker is Reynolds, 2 wide receivers to both sides. Whitaker takes the snap, fires quickly to the right side, and through the hands of Walker, I believe. Going to be second down and 19.
Williams out there along with Passon.
Had a lot of success, did Springs Valley, with those quick passes early in the game.
They're kind of going after Trey out there. There's such a huge difference in height.
Height and size. Whitaker again joined by Reynolds in the backfield. Trips left this time for the Blackhawks. Whitaker takes the snap, going to look to the right side. Pressure from the Miners, and still on his feet. Now he goes down, loses the football. And I guess the whistle must have blown there. I didn't hear it. Of course, we're enclosed up here tonight. So
neither. Whole bunch of Miners back here. Fegley was the first one there. Gentry was back there, as well as it looks like Mason. And I'm not sure. There's definitely a sack on the situation.
All the way back to the 28-yard line, so a loss of 10, going to bring up third down at about 29. They have to get over midfield plus 6 more yards or so to get a first down. So third and long here.
I'll tell you, Zach Figley doesn't have a lot of numbers in terms of sacks, but his pressures and quarterbacks, he had 4 last week, and that right there really was, he didn't get the sack, but it was his pressure that enabled Mason and Gentry to get it.
Whitaker rolls out to the left side this time, looks to throw, and dumps it ahead to Perkaiser. He's going to go down, and he did make the catch. Going to pick up maybe 4 or 5 yards here to the 32, 33-yard line, and Springs Valley will probably be punting again.
Yeah, he didn't take the sack, which was good. Yeah, Whitaker's showing some good presence of mind so far.
He really was. He really took his time rolling out that time, kept looking upfield, and finally found somebody, even though it wasn't. I mean, they had third and forever to go, but kept his poise.
Yeah, the play before, he almost held on a little too long, and I kept thinking he's going to try to flip it out. But, you know, a guy who's just a sophomore, you'd almost would think would throw the ball away and get an intentional grounding call on it.
So once again, back to punt is Hector Walker. Back deep for the Miners is Muir. The Miners have too many men on the field right now, and there's the flag. And the punt's going to be blocked, but they'll get a do-over here. The ball actually almost ends up in the stands. I've never seen one end up in the stands before.
And they got a pretty good-sized track here, full-size track. Kendall Williams was almost eating that football, but Pierce Jackson was unable to get away.
So 12 men on the field on the Miners. That'll be a fourth down over again, move it forward 5 yards to the 38-yard line, and they'll re-kick. So Walker will be happy to have that opportunity back.
Yeah. That was fixing to be a disaster again.
So Walker gets ready again. Muir is still deep for the Miners, standing at about the 30. Walker takes the snap. No pressure this time for the Miners. Punt's going to go straight up in the air and come out of bounds. And let's see where the referee marks this one. That could be up around midfield.
Yeah, I've never really understood how they do this. I see that they're looking, and somehow they get a better mark on this than they did the last one.
They're going to mark it at the Miner 43, so that's where Linton will take over with 8:42 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners on top 21-0, and they have the football again.
The last drive was more Miner-like. Of course, they took over at the midfield stripe, but we had 3 big running plays, kind of marched down the field and put that ball in the end zone after a couple of series where they didn't look too sharp. Try to see who's out there for the Miners again. This time it looks like it's Gerald's at the left tackle, Pig at the right tackle, Sparks at guard. Oh, quick pass.
Quick pass out to Pierce Jackson, breaks the tackle, comes to the right side, heads up the field now at the 40, going to get a block ahead from Eberhardt. And if there was a horse collar tackle in high school, that might have been one there. He's brought down finally down around the 25-yard line, and a good pickup for the Miners on the first play.
Johnson, 17, comes in, makes the tackle. He's playing for number 5, Moore, who's got the jersey off and getting some attention to his right shoulder, so he could be, that's another senior that's down. Dr. Wilson down as well. We've seen this play success quite a bit. It gets down to the Valley 25-yard line, and that is now 3 of 5 for 66 yards for Tyler Muir.
Eberhardt out wide right this time. You're going to roll out left, look to throw again. Going to step up, avoids the tackle. Now he may run the ball now to the right side, has some running room to the 15, to the 10, hurdles oh my goodness, he hurdled the tackler and scores the touchdown.
Hurdled over Zach Carnes, who was getting ready to lay the boom on him. Oh my goodness, high hurdles. Posterized right there. Hopefully Swinghammer got a good shot of that.
Wow, I hope the guys on LintonMiners.com had good video of that. Tyler Muir jumps right over the top of the tackler and scores from 25 yards out.
Well, that was an unbelievable. We have seen some highlight reel plays from the junior. That's not normally the kind of thing the coaches want to see you do because you open yourself up to some injury situations, but wow.
Wilson to add the extra point here, and the ball's up, and he had to hurry up that one. Looked like he got some pressure, but he knocks it through. So with 8:06 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top now 28-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports. Again for the Miners, and Dan, what was that drive?
That was just 2 plays, 57 yards, featuring, of course, a 32-yard pass play from Muir to Jackson to start it, and then a 25-yard unbelievable posterizing leap over Zach Carnes at about the 3-yard line. High hurdles him into the end zone.
Very nice run that time. Wilson gets ready to kick off. Carnes and Perkheiser, I should say. Carnes is going to take it at the 10, heads up the middle of the field, now tries to get to the left side, and a host of Miners are going to greet him at about the 27-yard line, so
yeah,
maybe the 28.
Probably got a little talking to after that last return. Looks like Kendall Williams, 22, and 52 Chance Howard on that tackle.
So the Blackhawks take over at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. They've done some good things with the football offense at times, just they've not been able to sustain it.
Yeah, I think they've done better than what they thought, especially that first drive. The first drive was pretty good. They only have 18 total yards, though, so that might be a little misleading that the one penalty got them 15 yards on it.
Whitaker has 2 backs in the backfield. Runner in motion, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to go downfield, still looking. Now pressure from the Miners. Now he throws it away.
And that's an alert pass play. He just throws it in the dirt because Williams is standing right there.
Chad Trent with the pressure that time for the Miners, and he just kind of threw it down into the ground and said, hey, we'll live to fight another day. Yeah. And that's good. Once again, good poise for the sophomore quarterback.
I thought so, because there was no way that if he threw it up where Carnes could get it, then it was going to be picked off by Wilson. And good diligence there as well by Chad Trent coming from the opposite side. Kept pursuing Whitaker until he finally had to throw the ball away.
2 backs in the backfield this time. A new back, actually. Reynolds still back there trying to see who the other back is.
I believe that is McTeer. He's a pretty good-sized boy as well.
Yes, he is. Handoff going to go to Reynolds. He looks for room on the right side. Going to get it out over the 30, maybe to the 32-yard line. Pickup of about 4 there. And it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Dylan Morris coming over from the defensive tackle position. Tracks him down at the 31.
So another play for the Miner defense here as Howard checks in on defense. We're used to seeing him on the kickoff team get a chance to play a little defense as they shuffle him in. Just a sophomore for the Miners, 6 foot, 175 pounds.
Chance Howard is now at the defensive tackle position. Mason and Figley at the ends. With Walker not dressed tonight, he usually sees some time at defensive end, so maybe somebody else will get a shot at that.
2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers right. Now we got all kinds of issues here, and timeout by Springs Valley. So 7 minutes left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners on top 28-0. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes in Linton and Duggar, and the new Ming Family Funeral Home opening soon on Highway 58 in Odin, serving you with funeral pre-planning and at-need service since 1930. Anderson Poindexter Funeral Homes, a name you've learned to trust.
Whitaker is 4 of 6 for 25, but mostly they've all been the short variety. but he's kind of alertly thrown the ball away like he did in that last one. And I think 3 times Williams has had an opportunity. He got one of them for a pick.
Well, I got something new to talk about. Somebody just texted me and said in high school, hurdling somebody used to be a penalty. Any idea about that?
You know, I kind of remember that as well. Back in the days when the spiking penalty was there and all that stuff. It probably was a health issue. I don't know that they would think that's showboating. But it looked like 23 was getting ready to put the hammer on him. And
it definitely wasn't showboating, but it's definitely athletic. My goodness.
Pure athletic move. And boy, if that had been at Linton in that south end zone like that, those fans would have been they'd still be yelling about it.
3 wide receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Whitaker by himself in the backfield here on a 3rd down and about 7.
Bill Smith playing the free safety position now.
Whitaker takes the snap, looks to his right, pressure from the backside, and it's going to be a complete pass, I believe, or maybe it was now they're going to call it incomplete.
Whitaker was hammered by Garrett Morris. Actually, Garrett looked like he tried to do the old Lawrence Taylor hack back there, and the ball did pop out, but it landed. It sure looked to me like he caught it.
I thought he caught it. I did too.
They're going to say that's an incomplete pass.
So that'll make it 4th down, and Springs Valley once again going to have to punt the football here. Just can't afford to give it to the Miners at the 32 no matter what the score is.
No. That was all Garrett Morris coming from the right side defensive end, and he just came in there with his right hand and popped the ball straight up in the air.
So Walker gets ready to punt. Muir again back deep. Walker takes a low snap and going to get the punt away end over end towards the right side and going to take a little bit of a Springs Valley bounce. And Muir picks it up at the 25 rather. Gets it out to the 31. I think Springs Valley just thought that ball was going to roll dead.
I'd never assume anything with Tyler.
Not with
Muir.
Tyler. Tyler picks it up at the 25, able to get it out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. And the Miners take back over with 6:49 left here in the first half.
Yeah, the coaches, if he makes something out of it, then they're happy about it. If he doesn't, the ball pops loose, then you're not happy about it.
Yep. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs found out the hard way last night in that game about trying to make a big play late. Muir stays in at quarterback, joined by Mason in the backfield. Takes the snap, gives it to Mason up the gut, and maybe got a yard there.
Nothing on the inside. That time, big number 71. That is Colton Reynolds, just a freshman, 6 foot, 250 pounds, was right there to make the stop.
Pick up a 1, going to make it 2nd down and 9. Mason and Muir in the backfield. Kendall Williams at one wing, Pierce Jackson at the other. Clothier out wide to the right side. Muir out of the shotgun, going to roll right, look to throw, pressure. Now he's going to fire it ahead, and it's complete. That's Kendall Williams, I believe. Gets a nice block, and he's going to, we got a flag. So that's going to eliminate the touchdown.
That guy threw the flag from way down the field. The official right in front of it didn't call it. I wondered if it was going to be a push in the back. I was pretty close.
So the flag is down at about the Miner 47 to 48-yard line. I believe the penalty will get marked off from there. We'll make sure. If that's the case, then the pass will still go for about 15 yards or so. And then the penalty will take it away.
Might be a good homer call there, Darren. That might be as Keith used to always say, a 28-0 call, because the far official who was back around the 40 over there, he's the one who makes the...
Yeah, that flag came in way far away from the play. So
almost looked like the flag came down when Kendall cut up field and was going to be gone. The ball goes to the 39.
So about the pass play goes out to about the 47. So they'll give him about 15 on the pass play and then mark 10 back, and it'll be 2nd down and about 4 for the Miners.
Oh, you make this awful easy.
So 2nd down, Muir out of the shotgun, joined by Mason. They're going to look to throw again. Still looking, plenty of time. Now the pressure steps up and he goes down.
That's very unusual as well. McTeer is going to get back there to make the tackle. Nice job on the defensive backs.
Absolutely. You got to give them credit. Nobody to throw it to, because Tyler had plenty of time that time to look things over. And the ball goes back down to the 33-yard line. So a loss of about 4 on the sack, and it'll be 3rd down now and about 7 for the Miners. 5:33 left in the first half. Springs Valley will get the ball to start the second half here.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often.
Clothier out wide to the left side this time. Williams and is it Jackson at the wings? Back to pass again. A screen pass this time set up, and they get it to Avery Gentry. And a nice tackle, Springs Valley right on top of that as Gentry makes his first catch of the year, I believe.
The first time we've seen that screen play, and a nice job by Green, 54. It looked like that was wide open. Gets back out to the 37-yard line. We are seeing some different plays, which I think the coaches wanted to do, get some different looks. So, I mean, they kind of expected that we might have some issues with some different guys in there.
Well, it's 4th and 3, and the Miners see if they try to draw them off here or if they're really going to go for it. I mean, I guess you can afford to do it at 28-0.
Yeah.
Muir does indeed try to draw them off. This time Springs Valley not biting. See if they try again. Nope. Yep, they are going to. Good thing they took a timeout. That snap went right through Tyler's hands.
Wasn't even looking.
Maybe he knew they were going to take the timeout, so kind of risky there, though. 4:26 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners are on top, 28-0. Getting hard to read these up here, Dan. They don't have any lighting up here for us, and I'm having a hard time reading my ads here. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Lions Health and Living Center, offering a high-skilled professional staff available 24 hours a day in a comfortable, compassionate environment. Contact Melinda Barnhill for a personal tour, 659-1440. Lions Health and Living Center, a 5-star community. We are worth the drive.
Used to always think we needed to bring a little plug-in lamp sometimes for situations like this.
I guess I can use my cell phone if I need to, get a little flashlight going on it here.
North Knox ahead of North Central at the half, 21-0. So that's got to be a little bit of a surprise.
I know the kids have been talking a little bit about the North Davies runner that's racked up all the yards.
North Knox's runner.
North Knox, I meant,
Caden Fields, 400 in a loss to Heritage Christian, up 300-something last week. He's over 1,000 yards 4 games into the season. But I think the quick question was, how are they going to do against North Central's offense? And 21-0, that kind of opens your eyes a little bit.
Yes, it does. So 4th and 3, the Miners going for it from their own 37-yard line. Muir going to take the snap, keeping himself up the middle, and breaks a tackle out to the right side, breaks another tackle. He's at the 50, the 45, breaks a third, fourth tackle. Still on his feet, and he's going to score. All the way down the left side to the 15, the 10, the 5, and into the end zone. Tyler Muir.
I don't even know what you say.
63 yards. About 5 guys had a chance to bring him down. It looked like at first he wasn't even going to get the first down. He popped out to the right side, broke a tackle there, cut back to the middle, broke a couple of more, and into the end zone again.
I tell you what, if you're watching this on the live LintonMiners.com feed, you are getting some entertainment because I can't even describe that. He looked like he was down. He comes to the right, then he jukes. He stops and he kind of backtracks and jukes. And did that about 3 times in a row. Wilson's kick going to go right down the middle.
Another good kick.
Boy, what athleticism by Tyler Muir. And the beautiful thing is he's just a junior.
So the kick good by Wilson with 4:08 left in the first half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners go on top now 35-0, and we're getting some plays here that words can't describe.
I'm completely unable to describe that. And that's about the 3rd time this year that I've been really struggled to find ways to describe that play.
So Tyler into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight and throw in the touchdown pass to Clothier, and Tyler having another big game.
Well, if you're watching this on film, you're another team looking to scout us. I don't know what you tell your kids how to tackle. Because several kids look like they had a beeline on him.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead, he ends up 63 yards. That's 114 yards on 9 carries for Tyler Muir.
So the Miners will get set to kick off again here momentarily.
Wilson is 5 for 5 tonight kicking the ball. Now, Noah Clark, had been injured most of the year, and I saw him practicing. It may be a night that we see him get a shot at some kicks.
Well, Luke's done a mighty fine job so far, just a junior, so another one that'll be back next year for the Miners. He's got to like it. He gets a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of times your kickers have to stand around and don't get to do a whole lot. Luke's been able to get a whole lot of work this season between extra points and kickoffs.
Yeah, there's no resting really for the kicker. You got to be ready about it any second.
Wilson gets ready to kick off here, approaches the ball, kick in the air, good kick, end over end, going to be bounce at the 15, bounces away from the offensive player, going to be picked up at about the 12. Now he comes back to the left side, and he tries to leap and gets tackled, yeah.
That didn't work well. He tried to leap over Billy Smith, who, granted, isn't tall, but when you got Chance Howard chasing you, that's not a good thing.
Great coverage by the Miner kickoff team. Perkiser only able to get back out to the 15-yard line, so only about a 3-yard return, and the Miners have him pinned inside the 20. When you do that in a high school game at the 1A level, that's good.
Well, his kicks have been good. You know, he's been trying to aim them the first couple of weeks.
2 wide receivers to each side. Whitaker out of the shotgun. Miners showing pressure. Gentry does come. Reynolds takes the handoff, breaks through, gets it out over the 20 to about the 23-yard line is Reynolds.
And he got a nice run there. Jackson Pierce, I haven't called his name a whole lot tonight. He's going to make the tackle out about the 23-yard line, and an 8-yard gain by Reynolds. 5 carries, 15 yards for the senior running back.
5'11", 220. If he gets ahead of steam, he can do
220.
He can do some damage. So a pickup of about 8 will make it 2nd and 2. 3:29 left here in the first half. Reynolds alone back this time, trips right, single receiver to the left. Whitaker takes the snap, looks to the right side, quick pass, goes over the head. Now that was forward, so they're going to call it incomplete. They said it was forward. Normally it's the referee on the opposite side that makes that call. But the referee on the side of the field where the pass went said that was forward, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And really, if he'd have held on to it a little bit more, Trent might have had a bead on it. Trent looked like he would have got that if they ruled that a fumble. And good to see Smith getting the work at the safety position. That gives Tyler Muir a little bit of rest. Also gets Smith an opportunity to play with the first stringers, which you want to get some depth out there.
One back in the backfield with Whitaker again, trips right. Showing pressure up the middle of the Miners. I thought there was movement on the Springs Valley line. No call. Reynolds takes it, going to try to come to the left side, and he's going to be stopped immediately over there by Mason, is it?
Yeah, Mason was there immediately.
Good job by Garrett Mason there. Going to actually lose a yard maybe. Going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, both inside backers creeped up, and it looked to me like the right tackle moved. Instead, they got the ball to
getting back to the line of scrimmage here. So 23-yard line, 4th down, and Walker on to punt. 4th down and about 3 or 4. I guess with 2:41 left and a half, down 35-0, you almost wonder if they don't try a little trickery here.
Yeah.
Walker takes a low snap, and he got hammered. That's going to be a flag. Yeah, Pierce Jackson got in there that time and hammered the punter.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was going to get the ball. I think that's what he was gaming on, and Pierce gets 2 personal foul calls tonight now.
Yeah, that's one of them ones where if you think you can get it, you got to get out in front of the kicker there, and Pierce just ran right into him that time. Coach Ollie not real happy over on the sideline, calls Pierce over. That's another 1st down by penalty for the Blackhawks.
And that was a blatant. It looked like he was going to get the ball, honest to goodness, but you made a great point. You're not going to get the ball if you're running right into the side of the kicker.
Right into
and that's right in front of that referee. So that's 2 plays now. Pierce has got some pretty blatant personal foul calls, and
So 1st and 10, Springs Valley. They'll keep it at the 38-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers wide to the right. It's Reynolds and Perkiser in the backfield. Miners just show all kinds of pressure coming. Reynolds up the middle, and he may get out to the 39. Might have got a yard on that one.
And the tackle there, of course, Pierce Jackson shooting in.
I mean, I can't imagine being on that offensive line and there's more Miners up there than what you got guys up there.
Yeah, normally, you would audible that and try to throw a ball out in the flat because Jackson's or Gentry's not going to be there.
But the Miners have good coverage out there one-on-one. Whitaker, 2 backs in the backfield, runner in motion. And he's going to roll out to the right side to give himself some time. Figley in his face. Now he throws it down the field, and it's incomplete over on the Miner sideline.
Nice job by the Miner defensive backs, able to But both backers were coming again, Darren, and so that left a couple of guys open out there, but Whitaker not able to get to him.
Josiah McTeer checking back in, 6'1", 220. They've got some size on this Springs Valley team.
Always have had, especially those two guys have been around now since freshman year. Well, a guy like Walker, you just look at him, he looks like an athlete coming out here.
So it's 3rd down and 9 now at the 39-yard line. Whitaker with 2 backs in the backfield. McTeer's the second one now. And Reynolds going to take the ball over the 40 out to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. It's still going to be about 4 yards short of the first down. Going to bring up another 4th down.
And they may go it now. That's 4th and 5. They're more closer to midfield, and it kind of looks like, looks like they call the punting team.
So it'll be 4th down, and it ends up being about 5, maybe a short 6, long 5 here.
Now here's where you would expect some trickery. With just a minute, and the clock could be running down to probably under a minute.
Yeah, then again, maybe you want to punt it one more time and hope you can keep the Miners out in that last minute.
And Bill Smith is going to be the guy returning it, and we saw him return a kickoff a pretty good distance, and he's pretty shifty himself.
They're going to get a delay of game here. The play clock down to 1-0, so a delay of game should be called here. Or are they going to get a timeout? No. So delay of game will back it up 5 yards.
Well, if you've got a timeout to burn, why not? Why would you not burn it there?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't really doubt that. I don't think he was going to kick that ball 60 yards into the end zone.
I don't either. So the ball goes back to the 39, and now they'll set up the punt. So 50.3 seconds left. Smith back deep to return.
Well, his last 2 punts have been kind of straight up in the air and to the right.
There's the snap. Good snap this time. Right up the middle, and they're going to get this one.
Zach Figley's going to get it. Ball still loose. Zach Figley on the block. So now the Miners will have a short field.
They're going to take over at the Springs Valley 30-yard line. So Figley will get a 9-yard punt return there.
Well, they've been getting close, and that's probably why Jackson thought he was going to get there last time.
So the Miners with a chance here with 44.7 seconds left in the half to put another touchdown on the board. Looked like Trent may have thought about staying out there at quarterback. Instead, it's Muir for this last possession.
I'm a little surprised, other than the fact I think we wanted to work on some plays, but I would have thought we might have saw Trent a little bit more in the second half now, especially if we score here, Darren. That running clock could be a very
Muir
real
looks
possibility.
to throw, throws it up for Clothier, and that's going to be a touchdown. Nice catch by Clothier. Another good pass from Muir, and Clothier with his second touchdown of the night. This one from 30 yards. Another one from 30.
Yeah, that was, again, pitch and catch perfectly played out there. And that might have just sealed the deal on the running clock right there for the second half. That took about 13 seconds.
So 37.7 seconds left now. And the Miners on top 41-0 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Now Springs Valley offsides. They let them get back, and Wilson knocks another one through.
Yeah, those kicks are right down the middle, and nice to see nothing getting blocked this time. But now we're up to 42-0. 35-yard pass play to Clothier. Good to see Clothier getting involved in the offense, Darren. He's kind of been absent for the most part. He has 3 touchdown receptions, but
a little hobbled to start the season, and I think in the first game there, I think his timing was off with Tyler, and I'm sure now that he's a little more healthy, they've had time to work on that in practice, and boy, it's definitely showing. And Tyler, you got to give him credit again, not just his legs. He's thrown a couple of really good balls again tonight.
Yeah, perfectly placed. I don't know how you defend that. He just ran under it, and it was over his shoulders, so not much a defender can do there.
Not at all. So the Miners will get set to kick off again here with 37.7 seconds left on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. It's 42-0 in favor of the Miners. Got someone letting me know that Eastern's up 28-0 in the second quarter over Wood Memorial.
Oh, they're playing Wood Memorial tonight. Well, you would expect. The thing about it is, if you're going to be a solid team like that, you do have to take care of business. So that's what you would expect to see.
Yes. I was surprised Vincennes Lincoln played Wood Memorial a few weeks ago. We saw the Vincennes Lincoln bus as we were headed to Tecumseh, and we thought, where are they going? And we never dreamed it would have been Wood Memorial.
Well, we dropped Wood Memorial. We tried to get Vincennes Lincoln, and they wanted it at their place. And it was one of those years where, we needed the home game, and they picked up the team we dropped, which personally, I don't know what in the world Vincennes Lincoln's thinking about picking up Wood Memorial. I don't know. I guess you won a game. I can understand that aspect of it, but, man.
Wilson gets ready to kick off here.
I think the Linton Vincennes Lincoln game would be a good one.
I agree. Nice kick, going to land again at the 15-yard line, and Perkiser takes it at the 21, or I'm sorry, the 15 rather. He rolls out to the right side, and he's going to be brought down short of the 30 again. So once again, good coverage. That ball bounced at the 15 again.
Yeah, Howard, it looked like, and Trent both got out there. Nice coverage.
So it's good. You talk about things that have improved from game one, and the kicking game has definitely improved.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Luke's field goal or extra point attempts. I mean the kickoffs have been
much better
than they were earlier in the season.
Consistently, they fell around inside the 15 to the 10. I think a couple times he's aimed them to be kind of at the 20 for coverage purposes. Since that first week where we saw Speedway really kind of roll down the field a little bit on those kickoff returns.
Whitaker takes it, going to hand it off up the middle. It's McTeer this time, his first carry of the night. May get a yard or two here, and that may be the last play we see in the first half. Got another score, Dan. Sullivan 28-8 over Edgewood at halftime.
Ooh, that's a good win. Good lead for the Arrows. You'd like to see anybody in your schedule win contest.
Sure. So McTeer may have got a yard. I think that's going to do it for the first half here, as it doesn't look like they're interested in running any more plays. So at the half on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners are on top 42-0. We'll take a 2-minute break, come back with the halftime show. You're listening to Linton Miner football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports.
High School is halftime, where your Linton Miners lead by the score of 42-0 after a first half that started a little sloppy for the Miners. Darren has ran off to kind of check on his father. If you just tuned in early in the contest, maybe about the fourth or fifth play, as Tyler Muir went down the sideline and juked out a couple of people. He was obviously hit, and they believe he has a dislocated knee. That's his father, who keeps the defensive stats on the sideline. They carted him off and have taken him to an area hospital, and Darren's trying to find out what's happening there. But we wish his dad well, obviously. The Miners took that opening drive and went 65 yards down the field, getting a fourth and 5. They got Springs Valley on the offside. It's Garrett Morris that goes in from 9 yards out. I'm sorry, that is a Clothier pass play from Muir for 30 yards out to put the Miners up at the 9:31 mark, 7-0. Springs Valley, though, answered. They got the ball at their own 20 and really put together a pretty good drive. 10 plays aided by a third down play. We got a personal foul on, and in the 4th and 1, they were able to convert that play. They're able to drive down the field and get to the Miner side of the field down to the 42. But back-to-back incompletions, and then we see a punt by Hector Walker, puts the Miners pinned at their own 20-yard line. This is probably the worst the Miners looked at that point. Basically a 3-and-out, unable to do anything. Muir is sacked. We have to punt the ball with 3:12 to go in the first quarter, but a holding call and then a pass play that intended to go from Whitaker to Zach Carnes was laid out too easily and picked off by Kendall Williams, and that put the ball inside the Springs Valley red zone at the 10-yard line. It just took 3 plays, and it was Garrett Morris that was able to go 5 yards in. With a minute 54, another nice kick by Luke Wilson. The score is then 14-0. Valley then has to go a 3-and-out. They kick the ball back to the Miners, and we go back and forth. And that really the second quarter turned into a Tyler Muir show, a 20-yard run, a 25-yard run just 3 minutes later that saw him leap over a guy. Then he goes 63 yards just 4 minutes later on another really the type of play you can't describe. And finally, after a blocked punt by Zach Figley, it is just 37 seconds left to go in the half. Muir throws a beautiful pass right into Jacob Clothier's hands, 45 yards. We've got 6 extra points by Luke Wilson, and the Miners are on top of this one 42-0. As we look like we are joined by Shane. He gets to sit down this time if he wants to, because he'll have a tough time probably seeing. There goes the light, Shane. Shane, you make your way up here, get that microphone up to your face. And first of all, were you down there on the injury to Darren's dad, and what was that situation?
Yeah, I was down there, and it looks like he, according to Dr. Wilson, maybe dislocated his knee. So, yeah, it was a scary situation for sure. The medical staff did a great job, Dr. Wilson and Barrett Goodman.
And he's up here now trying to find Darren, and Darren's down there trying to find him.
Yeah, they did a great job getting him ready, and the Springs Valley staff and everybody helping out there. So hopefully he's good. As he was leaving, he yelled at everybody, play ball. So.
Well, you don't want to see anybody get hurt in a high school football game, and that's always a fear when you come into something like this. And of course, it happens right off the bat. And but again, he looked like he was, had his hands up in the air and letting everybody know. And it was very odd for Darren being up here. But offensively, Shane, the Miners really, with a couple different linemen in the contest tonight, started off a little rough. We had some more negative plays, and I think you probably not marked a negative play for a while. Able to get it going towards the end of that first half, really the whole second quarter. Tyler Muir again off the hook. What kind of numbers do you have for us with the Miner offense?
Well, it looks like we've got 146 yards rushing and 114 yards passing. And then, of course, the Tyler Muir, a couple of those runs were just...
How do you describe them?
I mean, some of the kids running off the field, so that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. So, I mean, I was talking to Coach Jennings, and he said that the game's just in slow motion for him right now. So that was just something to see, really.
As a defender standing there, you think you've got a beat on him. I mean, it looks like you're getting ready to finally put a hit on number 3. And if he doesn't leap over the top of you, he leaves your jock on the ground with some sort of step forward, step back. He must have done, I don't even know what you want to call it, a juke, and he went kind of against the grain and then went forward and juked. 4 or 5 Blackhawks were just standing there, and he ends up scoring on a 63-yard run. Just an awesome job. But what's your assessment of the offensive line? Levi Gerald's just getting the start out there, a sophomore. Chance Howard, another sophomore in there. And we've seen TJ Pigg as well getting in some action in there. What's your assessment on the field level?
Levi's doing a heck of a job. Just kind of watching Levi out there. He's really done a heck of a job filling in. I've heard the coaches hollering at him a couple times, telling him, nice work and really moving around in there. I tell you what, he's filled in real nicely, and the other guys have as well.
Well, and the paper thing here's got him, a roster 6'2", 280 pounds, and just a sophomore. Got to make you feel good when you look out there, because Dylan Morris, as always, is dominating, but everybody else on that offensive line tonight at that point are underclassmen.
Yeah, gives you a good feeling for the years to come with that offensive line that they've got some guys to come in and fill those shoes.
The passing attack tonight by the Miners, something of a point of emphasis. I thought we might work more on a short game, but Tyler has thrown a couple of beautiful passes, and Clothier, good to see him involved.
Yeah, definitely. Jacobs had a couple real nice catches out there, and they were really good throws from Tyler. I mean, they were spot on. And actually, one of the play where Tyler had made the excellent run and jumped over the defender, that was actually supposed to be a pass, and Pierce was actually wide open right there too. So they were running in a wildcat formation. And that was one of the things that Coach Jennings was saying, that Pierce was wide open as well. So those plays are there also.
They've been getting a little bit more pressure to him, I think, with newer guys on there. Now, defensively, the Miners, they've hardly really allowed anything from the Blackhawk offense. They've been aided by a couple of penalties. Really just a standard. We're getting really kind of used to these kind of numbers for the Miner defense.
Yeah, I've only got them for 34 total yards.
Yeah.
Demo is he's really wreaking havoc back there. I mean, he's getting through the line almost every time.
Well, we're not calling the linebackers names a whole lot, and that's because Demo's getting in there, as well as Zach Fegley from the other side, and Garrett Morris. Those front line guys are doing a great job. Passing-wise, he started off well hitting Hector Walker on some short passes, but other than that, the defensive backs have done a good job as well.
Yeah, they have. They've done an excellent job of covering up those receivers. They like you said, they had a couple passes there early on, and then they've locked down on them and really haven't allowed much since.
So second half now, with that last score putting us up 42-0, probably wholesale going to see some other guys in the contest you expect to get your riding. You're going to have to learn all these numbers super quick.
Yeah, most likely, but that's okay. It's good to see the other guys get in there and get some playing time and get some varsity action. So, not a problem there.
Shane Huffman coming up to give us the halftime stats, let us know how things are going. Hopefully, 42-0, we should have a W in the bag. Let's hope we can get through the rest of this game without any injuries.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks a lot, Dan.
Okay. You're listening to Linton Miner Football. We'll take a 2-minute break. Miners up 42-0. This is WQTY 93.3 FM. Production of Media 5 Sports.
Valley High School. I'm Darren Clayton along with Dan Phillips at halftime on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miners on top 42-0, and be interesting, Dan, to see what plays out here in the second half. I know without that JV game, the Miners probably don't want the running clock in the second half, and I don't know if we'll get it or not.
Maybe they'll make the argument that we're going to play JV kids the whole second half, and they need to work. Tyler Muir, 9 carries, 114 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's the bulk of the damage. 4 carries, 30 yards for Garrett Mason, a touchdown. 2 carries for Eberhardt. 3 carries for Pierce Jackson with 0 yards. That's an unusual thing. Miners with 162 running the ball, passing the ball. 6 of 8, high percentage, 120 yards for Tyler Muir, 2 touchdowns. Both of those are to Jacob Clothier. He has 3 catches for 69 yards, a catch each for Pierce Jackson for 32, 16 yards to Kendall Williams, and 3 yards to Zach Figley totally for the Miners. Now that is going to be 282 yards at the half. Valley, the other side of it, they just have 35 total yards. Really a good job. 8 carries for Hunt Reynolds for 20 yards. Perkheiser, 2 carries for 2. And Whitaker now 2 carries for -11. He started off pretty strong passing the ball short to Walker, but right now he's 5 of 14 for just 29 yards and a key interception. 2 of those catches by Perkheiser, 1 of those by Carnes. And I believe should have 9 in there as well, catching that ball. Unbelievably, I don't seem to have a 9 on here. How is that humanly possible to do? And I just type it in there. He's got 2 catches for 10 yards as well. So Miner offense finally getting on board. And I would think this is an excellent opportunity to get some of these younger guys in there and see how they handle it.
And do you think that's part of the conversation? You mentioned it. Do you think you go to the Springs Valley coaches and say, hey, leave your guys in there if you want, but we need the experience and let these guys play a little bit, at least through the third quarter maybe, and see how things go. And then if you need to make an adjustment, then so be it.
I think you're right on the nose. I mean, you got guys like Drake Cunningham and Drayden Ward and Josh Warnick, Ben Burris, so many other ones, Cody Corbin. Some of them are getting some play now. Obviously, Gerald's, and we've seen Bill Smith played safety for the most part there. And obviously, Howard's been seeing play on the line. But I'm sure these other guys, with not being able to play on Monday night, and that was evidently a scheduling deal. It was South Putnam, and that would have been a pretty good test to have seen what was going to happen. But I'm sure that the JV kids they probably were kind of hoping we weren't going to score a lot in that first half. You go in with a 35 or 28-0 lead, and there's not going to be a running clock, and they're going to get some action.
Right.
I don't know if 42-0 is enough to necessarily start the clock. I think if it was in the 50s and maybe so. I really do hope not, because when we saw it in Tecumseh, the kids don't get an opportunity to do anything. They can't do anything but hand the ball off up the middle. And so we'll see what happens.
I do want to say, as I walked across the field there to try to get some information to the people that rode here with my dad, I want to say thank you to all the people on Facebook and text messages and all that are checking on him. And my wife just got to Paoli, so whenever I hear anything, I will share with you. I appreciate the well wishes and the prayers and all that stuff that goes with it. It really means a lot.
Well, that's great. Dr. Wilson was up here moments after you left. I thought maybe he was going to get on the air. We're going to do a little talk with him, but he was looking for you to try to let you know what the situation was. So that's one good thing about the cell phone age, is that you can find out information pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So just about ready for the start of the second half here. The players back out going through their stretching routine after the first part of the clock gets ready to run out. The Miners will be kicking off to start the second half when we get ready to go. The referee's trying to find out which way we're going to go.
I think they just gave the signal.
Gave the signal to get that last 3 minutes running there. They're having a conversation, are the officials, with the Springs Valley
he's not the
sideline, not the coach, so
I'm not sure he's the AD guy. Darren, I know we were trying to keep up to date on some of these scores. You said we know North Knox was kind of handling North Central 21-0 at last report. You said something about Eastern Green.
Yeah, Greg Elliott's kind of keeping me posted there on some scores. Sullivan over Edgewood 28-8. That was at half. Eastern Green up 28-0 over Wood in the second quarter. Those were the only ones I had.
Well, the Perry Central Tecumseh game would be the other one of that would be good to hear what's going on. But I got to admit, a little surprised that the North Knox defense has held North Central off the scoreboard. I'm not necessarily surprised they've put 21 points up. But there's a team, Darren, that they're young. They graduated dang near the entire town of Bicknell on that team. And it took them a while maybe to get that defense clicking, but they're not having any trouble scoring and moving. They could be a dangerous team in 48 by the time the section rolls around.
Sure. I mean, anytime a team can, move the ball like that, I mean, a couple of turnovers here and there, and it could be a real good ball game. So, like I said, I don't want to take anything away from anybody that's coming up on the minor schedule. You do still have to play, but we've seen tonight, a lot of what I think we expect here in the second half of the season.
And North Central sporting a pretty good record. Eastern Green is undefeated, and North Knox is looking like they're going to be 3-2. So those guys aren't going to have losing records coming in. But having Sheridan in Week 8 was a nice lift up for that particular thing. And I think we won't have any trouble getting fired up for it, but most of the state thinks that we're taking the easy way out on the second half of the season, but I like the rivalries. I like the small school situation.
Right, yeah. I mean, it'd be tough to give up. I mean, North Davies and schools like that who over the years have given us, I mean, I remember the whooping we took down there at North Davies. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, I do lose track of time. But
in the 90s, the late 90s, they were solid. And North Knox was the area team back in the 70s. And they had a good team last year. We just had them on both occasions.
Well, as we get ready for the start of the second half here, it's brought to you in part by Media 5 Connect. Tired of paying a fortune for a website and maintaining a website? Talk to Media 5 Connect about a website that's affordable to create, affordable to maintain, and offers daily updates to keep your internet marketing fresh and current. Call Keith at 887-0159 and let Media 5 Connect unlock the potential for your business online. I think we got a couple of more scores coming in here. Attica 20, Fountain Central 27. That's in the third quarter.
That's a pretty good contest there.
Eastern Green 42, Wood Memorial nothing. Still in the first half. That's the only two other updates. Thanks to Travis David for one of those.
Excellent. Travis moved back into the area. He's kind of out of the area for a while. Now he's back.
That was Travis through Greg Elliott. So second-hand scores, we'll take him any way we can get him if you shoot him this way.
If anybody happens to find out how Perry Central Tecumseh, I know they're in the southern time zone, central time zone there, so they might be starting a little bit late. But Eastern doing what winning breeds winning, Darren. I mean, if they keep winning big like that, they're going to have a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. The Miners will have that game coming up. I believe that's week 7 or 8.
Yeah, we're starting after the North Davies game. And really that Attica Fountain Central, that whole, they split that sectional up. Fountain Central is now in 45 along with North Vermilion, but Attica got beat last week. Kind of surprised some people. Rockville. There's an awful lot of good teams up that way, South Putnam and Sheridan. Even though Sheridan is 2-2, I don't think you can discount Bud Wright.
Isaac Brown, I see him with his jersey off and his arm in like a little mini sling thing there on the sideline. So I hate to see that for the senior.
He's the one that Garrett Morris ran right over the top of and came off. His arm was dangling. Now, I don't know that that could be a collarbone or that just could be a shoulder. So when you think a collarbone.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you finish your thought, and then I'm going to let you know what you did.
Okay.
You had a nice Saturday Night Live slip there. It was Garrett Morris. You're showing your age there a little bit.
Oh, my goodness. I've been trying not to do that all. I probably have done that a bunch. Garrett's parents are going to hate me. But football had been very, very good. Oh,
absolutely.
My man, we're going off the.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank God you're
Miners get ready to kick off, going left to right to start the second half. It'll be Wilson kicking back to either Perkshire or Carnes. And the ball once again going to land between the 15 and the 20, and it's going to get by him back to about the 8. Picked up. Perkshire takes it nowhere to go. He's just going back and forth in a 2-yard area there, and finally brought down by the Miners at about the 13-yard line.
Yeah, Perkshire did not do well on receiving that one. Again, Chance Howard down there 52 and Burris 72 make the tackle.
So poor field position for Springs Valley here to start the second half, and we'll see if we got any new faces here at the beginning. Yeah, I see some of the regulars out there.
I think the first drive, the first series of the second half, you typically do see your regular starters to come out and play that first series. I don't see anybody any different out there than we normally see, other than Bill Smith is playing
back at safety. Well, Tyler, I mean,
why take a risk on your playmaker?
Great opportunity for Smith to get the experience.
It sure is.
Whitaker in the shotgun, 2 backs. 2 wide receivers to the right, takes the snap, going to hand it off to Reynolds up the middle, and he may get a yard or 2 out to about the 14. They don't tackle him.
No.
They drive him back. Momentum. Now Miners slow to get up.
I believe that's Avery Gentry. Avery is the one who made the first hit, and he gets up.
He took a pretty good lick there.
He gets up pretty woozy, and these days officials look at that kind of thing and kind of half surprised they're not made him come out. I think he is going to
come out.
He's the one that made the first hit. He and that big boy hit head on, and of course Gentry running off under his own strength pretty well.
North Vermilion 63, Riverton Park nothing. That was called at halftime because of lightning.
Oh my gosh, they've had nothing but trouble with the lightning up there.
2 backs join Whitaker again in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the right out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, going to drop back, look to throw, pressure up the middle, going to just try to dive ahead and get a few yards, may get it back. He does get over the 10-yard line. Might have got back to the original line of scrimmage. Or maybe a loss here. Let's see where they put it down. So the ball's back to about the 13-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 11.
I didn't see much of that play, but it looked like he was just trying to make something out of nothing. It looked like Zach Figley was able to get over there and get him for the loss.
If they've tried to go downfield, really since the Speedway game, anybody's tried to go downfield, they found a face full of Miner defenders.
Yeah. Tecumseh had the one touchdown, the long pass. It really looked like we could have picked it off. It just mistimed his jump.
Whitaker again out of the shotgun, single back, quick pass out to the right side, going to be caught out there by Walker, and he's going to break away and get the first down.
Nice.
That's what you'd expect out of him.
Yeah, that's exactly what you expect. Jackson's going to come make the tackle, but Trey Passon had him, but the physical difference in strength there was break the tackle. And Valley coaches were talking before the game, if he ever puts it all together out there, he's got the size. Boy, I can't imagine lining up across from him and having to hit him.
So the ball out to the 27-yard line. It is a first down for the Blackhawks.
Well, that's what Coach Schellen has to love that.
2 wide receivers, both sides, stacked on the near side. Whitaker takes the snap, looks. Now he's going to run up the middle, and he's going to pick up a couple of yards before he's stopped there. Is that 61? Is that Pig?
Pig, 62 is going to be one of the guys in there
62,
making the tackle.
yeah.
He looked like he got sandwiched between a couple of guys.
Got it out to the 30-yard line. Going to be 2nd down and about 8.
Well, we've seen 2 plays now where Whitaker's kind of tucked the ball and run up the gut. Maybe that's something that the coaches talked about at halftime.
Might have been something they picked up that they thought they could exploit. I wouldn't think you want to put him through too much punishment up the middle.
And Isaac Brown was our quarterback last year, and we've already seen him leave the game with an injury.
Trips left, single back in the backfield. Whitaker out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Miner straight up the middle, and he's gets like a quarterback draw. This time he's running out to the left side. Now he's going to throw it upfield, and it's going to be through the hands of 3 different people.
Yeah, Perkaiser's the first one that had a shot at it. Nice again. Work by the quarterback. He was pressured at the last minute when it looked like he was going to get crunched. He just dips the ball out to Perkaiser. Probably should have been caught.
And then it went through the hands of a Miner, I believe Avery Gentry or Smith.
Smith
had the chance to catch that, and then I thought another Valley player had a chance to catch it. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8.
Owen Sparks led the group trying to reach Whitaker.
Single back in the backfield, stacked set wide receivers to the near side and 2 wide receivers to the right. Miners again show pressure. Whitaker takes the snap, hands it off up the middle to Reynolds, and he's going to get it out maybe over the 30-yard line.
Not much in there, but as you mentioned, boy, Gentry and Jackson just dancing around from their inside backer, filling the gap, coming out, filling the gap, and that looks like that's going to bring a punting situation.
So the ball at the 31-yard line, 4th down and 7. And Walker back out to punt again. 7:40 left here in the 3rd quarter of the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. Miners up 42-0.
And it is not a running clock. Do see some different faces in there, though. Hill, number 61, is out there at defensive end.
Back deep to return. Looks like Tyler back again. So Smith is a short man this time. A little bit of a low snap. Walker fields it, punts it away. Muir going to field it at about the 33 and fall down, so he doesn't get a chance to return it. Kind of had to dive to catch it a little bit there and lost his momentum, and Miners will take over to 35.
Coaches probably breathe a little sigh of relief that he doesn't run the ball up the field. Be anxious to see if he's out there to take these snaps. Now, I see Trent coming out. Nope, that's Clothier.
Still see the regular set of Miners right now. So 7:18 left in the 3rd quarter. Miners going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Muir still at quarterback. Mason joins him in the backfield. Jackson and Eberhardt on the wings. Clothier out to the near side. Runner in motion, going to be a fake hand right up the gut to Mason. Boy, I missed that. Garrett Mason
trying to get
all
to
the way down inside the 35, down to the 25-yard line before he's brought down. Boy, he fooled me. I thought the ball came to the right side, and Mason had a lot of running room up the middle.
I was about to say it looked like Muir was going to keep the ball around the outside, and boy, that was shades of Alston Hale right there. The only difference is Halston had a little bit more horsepower, able to run down there. Nice job by Perkaiser. There's another Valley player that's a regular coming on. Looks like he's coming out of the locker room. I believe that's Remington Allen, and he's put up some good numbers.
Nice run by Mason. Runner in motion. Mason this time they fake it to him. Run the option out wide. Jackson has it to the 20, down inside the 15 to the 10. Going to cut it back up and score. Pierce Jackson with the touchdown on the option that time. They faked it up the gut to Mason. Muir immediately pressured, tosses it out to Jackson rather, and he takes it on into the end zone from 25.
Well, that's 2 plays and giant gains by the Miners, and I would suspect for sure now that we would be the last that we'd see of the varsity. And yes, I can confirm that's 22 Remington Allen that's kind of holding his helmet over his face, so that looks like he's a little upset.
So Wilson on again to try the extra point. Good snap, ball down, kick up, kick good. Wilson adds another one, makes it 49-0 in favor of the Miners on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. 6:26 left in the third quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
Left here in the third quarter. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Bob Switz City. Open every Wednesday through Sunday from 4 till 8 with everyday specials. Buy any 14-inch 3-topping pizza and get a 10-inch 1-topping for just $1.99. And also buy 3 large and get a 4th free at Bob Switz City. Bob Switz City still offers $10 Thursdays. A 14-inch pizza with any number of toppings is just $10 every Thursday. That phone number is 659-BOB. That's 659-2623. And I did the $10 special last night, and it got me my meal last night and my lunch again this afternoon.
I have not had any slices of it yet this year, and I'm going to have to find some way next week, some possible way to get up there.
Wilson gets ready to kick off once again. Kick end over end, right down the middle of the field. This time they field it at the 15-yard line. And Perkheiser has it, and he loses it. Ball loose on the field.
Gosh.
And they immediately say that Valley recovered it. He got out over the 30-yard line, took a shot there from the Miners. See who gets up off that pile. It's 62, I believe.
That's Chance Howard, 52. And I believe Burris in there again, 72, and he gets up with a little bit of a gimp. Those two guys have been very good on the field coverage.
So Springs Valley will take over 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Asphalt Doctor in Bloomfield.
And we are definitely seeing, looks like the JV, not the total JV. I see Figley out there, but number 12 is out there. Cunningham.
Drake Cunningham, yes. I see number. That's that number 2. Is that Drayden Ward also out there?
Corbin.
Number 7 is out there. Billy Rayburn.
No,
that's not Billy.
Rayburn.
That's not Rayburn. That's somebody else.
Chase Howard.
Yeah.
Corbin is at the other side.
Up the middle. That's
right off of
Perkheiser, and he picks up some yards here. So gets out over the 40 to about the 43 or 44, and it's going to be a first down on the first play here. So let these kids get adjusted a little bit, and I'm sure they'll be all right.
Biggest play really so far. That was a 12-yard gain by Perkheiser. Tackle by Corbin, 27, and Burris coming out of the contest, 72.
Ryan Figg checks in at defensive end now.
Yeah, we're not seeing any. These are all.
72 is Ben Burris now coming in on defense at the other end.
Clothier's still over there cornerback, but he's doesn't play defense much.
Whitaker hands it off up the middle, and that's going to be McTeer over midfield, just short of the first down.
McTeer is listed as 33, I think, on the. Nope, I guess he's not. I guess I got the wrong number. Tackle by Clothier, number 18, but 2 big gains there down inside the minor territory at the 48-yard line.
Well, they don't have a size on here for Chase Howard anywhere that I can see. He is not very big out there on the end.
I can answer that one for you.
So the ball into minor territory at the 48-yard line. 4:44 left in the third quarter. Miners have the JV defense out there. Whitaker still in the backfield for Valley. Takes the snap. Going to hand it off up the middle. Perkheiser has it. Breaks a tackle on the left side. Now another broken tackle. Gets it inside the 40 down near the 35 before about 3 Miners bring him down.
Yeah, unminor like. You're seeing a lot of missed tackles, guys falling off them. It's going to be, again, Clothier makes the tackle. By the way, 5'1", 110.
5'1", 110. See Levi Gerald's out there on defense now. He's got the start tonight on offense, and now he's out there playing a little defense.
Burkheiser now 4 carries, 27 yards, and 25 of that came in the last 2 carries.
Gut check time here for the minor JV kids. See if they can come up with a stop.
They didn't mix them. They didn't mix them with the varsity. IC Irish, I believe, is one of the inside backers now.
Whitaker takes the snap, going to look to throw now. Looking to the right side, puts it up there for Walker out near the end zone, up and knocked away. Good defense there by the Miners.
I think that's passing 25.
So he's still out there.
Yeah.
Nice job on defense there.
Pretty good thrown ball by Whitaker as well.
It was, and you would think that jump ball, Walker would have the advantage, but passing a nice job that time.
And I don't think Passon's been in the game. I think he came in on that passing situation.
So that'll make it 2nd down and 10 from the 35, the minor 35.
Boy, if they put Walker, number 9, out there on Howard, number 7, it's going to be insanity.
2 wide receivers wide right, 2 backs in the backfield with Whitaker. Runner in motion. Handoff going to go to Burkheiser. He breaks the tackle on the left-hand side, inside the 30, down near the 25-yard line before he's brought down. And I believe that'll be just short of the first down.
Ward, number 2, JV coaches talk highly of Ward.
Got a score in the third quarter. Perry Central 14, Tecumseh 7.
Ooh, my.
Thanks to Scott Campbell for that score.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind here, and that is we blasted Tecumseh right out of the park. And if Perry's they're in a ball game, that kind of makes you think that they're kind of on the same level. So
3rd and 1 here, right up the gut. McTeer has it, and he's going to get the first down and then some down inside the 20 to the 15.
Corbin, 27, is going to come up and make that tackle. Boy, that's a big load, McTeer, when he rolls out there. He's 6'1", 220.
Some more scores. Sullivan 35, Edgewood 8, 3:53 to go in the third quarter. Monrovia 49, Speedway nothing at the end of 3. Running clock in the second half there.
Ooh, that's a good comparison. Monrovia, we got them next year, and I'm glad to see the Arrows winning.
And the doctor says 2 fractured bones just below the knee.
Oh, goodness. So it's not a dislocated knee, it's a broken leg.
Yeah. So Whitaker looks to pass, looking left to Walker. He's not open. Now the minor defenders close up. Now they throw it down there, and nice play by the, I believe the safety. Is that Smith? Yeah. Nice job. He did his job perfect there.
Nice job by the young guys out there. Whitaker rolled out to his left and looked like he was going to keep it. Tried to hit Walker right in the corner. Smith played it perfectly, came over and broke it.
2 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Miners didn't bite on that. The guys that were supposed to stayed. The corner was still there. I was just worried that the height difference would make a difference. And
he probably would have thrown it with a little bit more air, more towards the back of the end zone. Although Smith and I believe Corbin might have been out there as well. They both had a beat on it.
2 backs in the backfield again with Whitaker. 2 wide receivers to the right. Takes the snap, going to hand it off to Burkheiser. He goes to the right side and going to be brought down. Maya got 2 or 3 yards on the play, down around the 15-yard line. And the minor JV starting to pick it up here. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
It's a nice job by Luke Miller as he forced the runner back to the inside and was able to grab him by the legs. Down into the 16-yard line now, 3rd and 6. Certainly going to be in 4-down territory.
4-down territory, 2 plays to get it here. So see if the minor JVD can step up and get the stop. Whitaker joined by Burkheiser and McTeer in the backfield. Takes the snap, going to flip it to Burkheiser. There's a minor into the backfield, but he couldn't make the plays. Down to the 10, down inside the 5, and near. Oh, they're going to give him the touchdown.
Well, they signaled touchdown.
They said he hit the pylon before. That referee wasn't in much of a position to call that, but he let him have the score. And so Perkshire from 15 yards out puts Springs Valley on the board.
A pretty good size hole for Perkheiser to run through, and the Miners, again, they're JV kids, so they're not quite as experienced in wrapping up. They're there. They just aren't bringing the guy down, and that might be the difference between being a freshman and a sophomore playing against a senior, because this isn't the JV of Springs Valley by any means.
So Green on to do the kicking here. I keep calling him Perkshire instead of Heiser.
I can't top Garrett.
So Green with the kick opportunity here. It's up. And
Holy
oh,
moly.
wow, he kicks that thing a long way. Wow. So he didn't have any trouble getting it through there. 1:07 left in the third quarter on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. The Miner lead now at 49-7. You're listening to Linton Miner football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com. Back in 60 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. And back once again at Springs Valley High School as Springs Valley gets ready to kick off now, and some new faces for the Miners on the return team.
Looks like the JV to return. That was a 9-play, 68-yard drive.
Back deep for the Miners is Smith, and trying to get the other number
Corbin
over there. Yeah, Corbin.
My guess. And looking at the up guys because they are up pretty far.
When the numbers start getting dirty, they get a little tougher to see. The white shirts are a little easier to notice.
Looks like Cunningham, Irish.
I see Tannehill.
And you know, a guy that's 5'1", 110, Chase Howard's got to be a pretty tough kid.
Absolutely. It's a squib kick right down the middle of the field. And it gets by Smith. It's down inside the 10, down inside the 5. You better pick it up. Now he's going to look to go to the left side. And he's going to be stopped pretty quickly there. Just may have got it outside the 10 to about the 12. I'm not sure he realized at first he needed to pick that up.
I don't either, unless he was thinking it might have a chance of getting into the end zone, but he touched it, so I don't know how that works. But he's lucky to get back to the 10-yard line.
Back out to the 12 there, so 1st and 10 for the Miners.
Yeah, that was kind of dangerous there. You probably will hear about it.
So Smith comes out to the right side this time. And the quarterback should be Ward, right?
Yeah.
So Ward at quarterback, out of the shotgun. See who else is joining him in the backfield here. Runner in motion is Corbin, and snaps over the head into the end zone, and Springs Valley's going to recover it for a touchdown.
Cornelius, number 75, is going to recover it, and just like that, the Hawks have put 14 points on the board, and all the posts all across the state now are going to go, hey, Valley's mounting a comeback, but that's the JV squad, and that snap went over the head, and you call that a team fumble?
That's a team yardage, so they'll lose the 12 yards or whatever it was. Will be a team loss, and touchdown for Springs Valley on the recovery in the end zone with 44.6 seconds left here in the third quarter. Green on to add the extra point, and it's not a matter of kicking it far enough. It's just a matter if he kicks it straight.
Yeah, he kicked that last one all the way across the track, nearly past the scoreboard.
Snap good. Green puts his foot into it. This one's not quite as long, but it's just as accurate. So with 44.6 seconds left in the third quarter, all of a sudden it's Linton 49, Springs Valley 14. So no drive to talk about there, just a fumble recovery in the end zone.
Well, the JV has not risen to the occasion so far. They've allowed a long drive, and then they turned the ball right over on an over-the-head snap and have put 14 points on the board after being held to pretty well nothing for most of this contest.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Asphalt Doctor in Bloomfield. For all your paving, seal coating, striping, and repairs, call the Asphalt Doctor for a free estimate. That number is 327-4446. As usual, I want to thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to bring you Linton Miner football. Without their support, wouldn't be able to bring you the games. Appreciate Keith Dodes and Media 5 Sports for helping the production of this. Also, LintonMiners.com with Jared Albright and his gang for bringing the video to the people.
Yeah, and if they've been watching that, they have seen some incredible.
I hated to miss the game last week, but it was nice to be able to get home there and watch the fourth quarter, and good video. Another squib kick up the middle. This time is going to be fielded by Smith at about the 16-yard line. He hesitates, now looks to go to the left side, has some speed, has some running room, out over the 40, out to the 50, the 45, the 40, and I think he's going to score.
He makes
Bill Smith all the way to the end zone, touchdown.
Well, where did he take that ball from?
I picked it up, if I remember right. I don't even remember now. I got kind of excited about him going through there.
Well,
nice.
He makes up for that last kickoff. I had to be a pretty good farther. I usually pay attention to where you say the kick went, but I was typing. I'm listening to see if anybody else says it. Nice run by Smith. Got wheels on the left side there, and once he got by the defenders, outran everybody to the end zone, showed some good speed. Showing the speed, definitely. That.
So Smith, 5'4", 125 pounds, first time playing.
And this is Wilson again. This will be kick number 8.
Now here's where you got a little risk here because you got the JV snap team in there, and I think Luke does kick during the JV games. There's a snap. It's good, but right up the gut, and they block it.
Yeah,
Luke takes a shot.
That's the 4th extra point block this year, and that's a good way to get your kicker hurt right
Yep,
there.
Absolutely. I mean, so with 29.9 seconds left in the third quarter, it's been a scoring barrage here. 55-14 now in favor of the Miners.
I can hardly keep track of what's happening.
So in the last, 38 seconds, we've had 3 touchdowns in 38 seconds.
We'll have to see if we can remember the Ask Shane. Well, Shane doesn't come up after the game.
Yeah, seems to me it was somewhere around the 15 or so I don't know 100% sure.
We can safely say 80 yards, 80 plus. There we go.
So Wilson will come back out and get ready to kick off again. 55-14 in favor of the Miners on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard. 29.9 seconds left here in the third quarter. Carnes and I assume Perkaiser will go back deep to return here. See who the Miners bring out now for the kickoff team. We could end up with another touchdown here real quickly.
Yeah, it's been quite the change of fortunes for both teams.
I want to get in one more sponsor here. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Greene County Daily World, wishing all area sports teams good luck. Watch your Tuesday paper for the weekly Athlete of the Week announcement. Call Lisa and ask about their current subscription specials.
And it is the JV kicking. I believe that's Noah Clark, number 80, that's setting up out there to kick the ball. First appearance of the year for him.
And there's the kick towards the right side. Going to be fielded at about the 21-yard line by the short guy there. And that's number 18. We'll get that name here. Nice tackle by the Miners. And that was Clark on the tackle, I believe.
Clark and Miller both got down there.
Jackson Land on the return, gets it out over the 30. And thank you to Scott Campbell. That was an 84-yard kickoff return.
Right. You were about right.
So at the 31-yard line, we'll see who Springs Valley comes back out with here now with 22.4 seconds left. They may still have to wait. They may still have a JV game themselves on Monday, so they may have to bring their starters back out, and they do. Whitaker heads back out to the quarterback position. We'll see what they elect to do in the fourth quarter.
You get to those positions where you're ahead 55-14. I don't think you're too concerned. It looks to me like we're going to let this clock. I didn't know the clock started.
It shouldn't on a change of possession. So 55-14, they start the clock. Now they're saying stop the clock.
You got to be kidding me.
So I don't know what's going on here. Is it running? Is it not running?
Well, it was running for sure.
I thought they were just going to let the third quarter run out and move ahead to the fourth. Somebody must have taken a timeout, but why the clock on a change of possession?
Well, that was
unless it's turned into a running clock when it hit 55. I don't know.
Not really sure.
So.
Well, what you would really hope is that Springs Valley didn't call a timeout to try to throw a deep pass against the JV kids.
Right.
Well, they did stop the clock, though, with 2.4 seconds, and I didn't know the clock ran after kickoff. So not that I'm arguing with that fact.
Right.
That's all right by me.
We already had the delay earlier, so a little later than anticipated. 31-yard line. Springs Valley has it.
That's a big moment for Bill Smith.
What should be the final play of the third quarter? The Hawks have it 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
So 2 wide receivers to the near side, 2 backs in the backfield. Walker is out. Whitaker going to hand it off on the sweep to Carnes, going to the right side, cuts it back up the middle, and gets out over the 45, maybe to the 46-yard line. It looked like it was going to be a sweep right. He cut it back up the middle and turns it into a nice run out to the 46, a pickup of about 15 yards.
Yeah, Bill Smith probably saves the touchdown, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
So at the end of 3 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top 55-14. Back in 60 seconds. This is a Media 5 Sports production. And as we come back to play here, the JV in now for Springs Valley. On the carry is Colby Lowe. Part of the JV, that's Whitaker still
well,
at
I don't think they have a backup quarterback.
Okay.
Brown is the backup quarterback. And
so Lowe takes it out to the 47-yard line. Might have picked up 1, and I think we have gone to a running clock, Dan, because as soon as they whistled the ball in play, they wound the clock there. So 11:27 and running. Springs Valley with the football. Whitaker at quarterback. 2 wide receivers to the near side. 2 backs in the backfield.
Interspersing some regulars with B-team guys.
In motion now, going to look to throw. Comes to the right side, and some pressure from the Miners. He's able to avoid it. Now throws it over the head of the receiver.
Nice hit job by the Miner front line. Miller tries to offer a hand to Whitaker. Ball intended for number 23, Carnes, and Trey Passon's still out there at 25. So I think the coaches are saying, look, we'll put the JV in, but if you're going to continue to try to score home run hits.
Well, and Trey doesn't have a ton of experience back there either.
You're right.
So, it's still early in the season. Good opportunity for him to continue to get some reps at that position.
That's a good point. Nice pressure by Miller again.
It was good pressure.
And somebody got to him. Somebody had got to him earlier.
So 3rd down and 9 now for Springs Valley at their own 47 in motion, and they hand it off up the middle. It's McTeer, and he breaks a tackle, comes to the outside. Several Miners are there. They're going to get him. Nice job by the Miners to swarm to the football.
Yeah, the first couple of guys he was able to stiff arm and get out of there. Finally, it looks like 70. Oh, let me get that number.
Is it 4?
70.
We can't.
I thought it was 3.
73.
But I could be wrong. Could have been Ward number 2.
So that'll be 4th down now. Ball located at about the 47, 48-yard line. It's a long 8. And they leave the offense on the field here. 55-14 in favor of the Miners. 2 wide receivers to the left side. Ball on the right hash. Actually, look. Whitaker takes the snap, going to pitch it to the left side. Once again, that's Lowe on the run. He finds a hole. He's up the sideline, going to get the first down. Lowers his head, gets down to the Miner 40. So a nice run by Lowe.
Yeah, it looked like Corbin was going to be able to make that stop. Instead, he turned the corner, turned on the Jets. Bill Smith again saves a touchdown.
So down to the 40-yard line, 1st and 10 for Springs Valley.
It's nice run by this Lowe. He's just a freshman, 5'6", 125.
So ball down to the Miner 40, 1st and 10. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers to the left again for Whitaker. In motion all the way across this time. It's a jet sweep. That's Carnes. And nice tackle going to be made there by Clark for the Miners.
Noah Clark comes in defensive end and grabs him by the jersey and swarms him down.
So Carnes on the carry, ball goes all the way back to the 44s where they're going to spot it. So a 4-yard loss, going to make it 2nd down and 14. So
Carnes.
nice job by Clark there. This first game he's been in?
Yeah, I have not seen him in any game. I noticed last week was the first one he was dressed. And, of course, we didn't see any JV in that contest. But I saw him warming up tonight kicking, so I thought he might get in. He's a pretty good-sized boy.
Yes, he is. That's what I was going to say. You know, that's a sophomore that's 6'3", 180.
And with Zach Figley graduating next year, you're going to be looking for a defensive end.
2 wide receivers to the near side this time, 2 backs in the backfield. Whitaker out of the shotgun, going to hand it off to McTeer up the middle, and he's going to drag the Miners for maybe 4 or 5 yards, gets it back over the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. So he ends up picking up 6, going to make it 3rd down and about 8.
And indeed, that was Warnock, number 74, that made that tackle. And I believe it was 73 earlier on that other play. I think that's Hazelwood. So definitely getting a lot of guys in the contest.
So down to the 38, 3rd down and 9. 1 wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right, single back in the backfield this time with Whitaker. That is that's 17, Justin Johnson in the backfield, I believe. Whitaker going to take the snap, quick pass to the right side, caught out there, pass and misses the tackle. And down inside the 20-yard line, that's Jackson Land on the catch, a 5'7" freshman. So down to about the 19-yard line and another 1st down for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, and that was passing that had a chance to drop him right there. Didn't make it. Down to the 18 of the Miners. That was 75 for the Miners.
Evan Phipps,
and he's been in street clothes most of the season with some injuries, so good to see him out and playing.
Final score, West Vigo 61, North Davies 6. Ooh. Northview 34, Owen Valley nothing. That's a final also.
The Knights undefeated.
Up the middle is Johnson, and nice job again by Clark. So Justin Johnson up the middle, shut down by the Miner D. Also getting up off that pile, Ryan Figg. Ball back to the 21-yard line, so loss on the play, going to make it 2nd down and 12.
Yeah, Noah Clark has made 2 nice plays from defensive end. He's not getting them down by physically hitting them, but he's grabbing the jersey and swinging them. Like you say, Figg 63 also got in there and dragged him down.
Down to 6:11 left here in the ball game. Miners going to improve to 5-0 on the season. Springs Valley going to fall to 2-3. Whitaker out of the shotgun. 2 backs, 2 wide receivers to the right again. And the handoff going to go to number 20. That's Low, and he's going to be stopped. A flag comes in. And it's going to be a hold, I believe. No, a face mask.
Oh, my.
So the Miners pick up a face mask penalty. I don't think there is a 5-yard face mask in high school. I think it's all 15. They'll be half the distance to the goal line.
Figg got him down at the line of scrimmage, along with a couple of other Miners. That'd be a half.
That is 5 yards, so 16. I didn't think they did that in high school anymore. I thought it was all.
I can't keep track of how they keep changing the rules.
Well, somebody sent me a thing a minute ago that said 3 years ago hurdling was still a penalty.
Huh.
Now, Coach Wellington said hurdling was definitely a penalty when he played, but we know that was back in the Stone Age.
I remember it being a penalty, but 3 years ago, it seems like I've seen people hurdling over people in games and not seen a penalty.
Ball at the 16-yard line. 2nd down. Single back in the backfield with Whitaker this time is Johnson. 2 wide receivers each side. Takes the snap, gets it on the jet sweep, coming to the right side. That's Low again, and he's going to be brought down by the Miners at about the 15, maybe the 16-yard line.
And that'd be Drayden Ward, number 2.
So he does get it up to the 15.
Clark was down there as well, but Ward from the inside linebacker, just a freshman.
3rd down and 6 now. I'd like to see the JV get a stop here.
I would too. I would very much like to see them stick it out here. Just as much as the Valley faithful would like to see the Hawks put it in there and put 21 points on the board.
Under 5 minutes remain now. Clock running continuously here in the 4th quarter after the Miners got their 55th point.
Tell you what, the JV offense hadn't had a chance to do anything.
No, they haven't.
Snap over the head and then a kickoff return touchdown. They really haven't been able to run anything.
Single back again is Johnson. Trips left, single wide receiver to the right side. Out of the shotgun, going to roll to the left, looking to throw. Now fires it into the end zone and knocked. Oh, he caught it anyway. Nice. Boy, the defender got a hand on it, knocked it away, and Carnes ends up catching it for the touchdown anyway.
Carnes, the ball tipped, it bounced off his hands, and it ends up making a nice catch. And a nice catch by Carnes, and a nice defensive play, just a good personal effort.
Yeah,
4:28 to go in the fourth quarter.
Good concentration there. The Miner defender got a hand on it. I thought they were going to get it knocked down, and ends up being a score with 4:28 left here. So Green back on to add another extra point.
Well, the good news is the offense will get to run a few plays if we can keep the snap down.
So Green gets ready for the extra point here. Snaps good, kicks up, and looks wide right. Nope. Yep, missed it to the right, so the kick no good. So it's going to be 55-20 on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard with 4:28 left here in the ball game. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
5 North Central 0. That's
Wow.
a final.
Boy, they got to be celebrating in Warriorland. That was, I got to admit, I'm really kind of surprised by that and wondering, boy, if North Knox obviously has got some defense, they got some things put together because they gave up a lot of yards. They 20-some-odd points to Wood Memorial.
Well, Springs Valley gets ready to kick it off again. We've seen squib kicks the first 2 times. The first one was a good result for them. The second one not so good.
No, it wasn't. The first one went all the way, somehow got to the 3, and then Bill Smith made up for that by going 84 yards, I believe you said.
So here we go again. We'll see what we get this time. Green approaches the ball and going to kick it deep this time towards the right side. Not real deep. It actually ends up stopping about the 25, picked up over there by a Miner. Try to get that number.
I think that's 44. I think it's Irish.
So Braden Irish, sophomore, gets it out over the 35 to about the 36-yard line, it looks like. So the Miners JV will get a chance, like you said, to hopefully run a few plays here.
Yeah, that the first play that they came out over the head snap resulted in a touchdown for the Blackhawks. And it looks like a timeout being called by the Blackhawks. I tell you what, I'm still kind of reeling over that North Knox score. North Central has put up some pretty good numbers this year against teams. It's kind of gandering. 41 against North Davies, 40 against Rockville in double overtime, 43 against Turkey. Of course, Turkey run.
Yeah, and those were all surprising because I remember week 1 when we said their quarterback went out, and then when week 2 scores started coming in, we couldn't believe they'd put up 41, and then now they'd done it 3 straight weeks, and then all of a sudden get shut out. So that is very interesting.
I mean, Rockville putting 40. Rockville beat Attica last week, and so that really is kind of an eye-opener right now. The Arrows, or North Knox, heck, they gave up 63. Of course, Heritage Christian, a solid team, but 26 from Eastern Green, 62 from Sullivan, and 23 from Wood Memorial. So got to congratulate the Warriors. They got to be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, and that's a very young team.
The Miners are going to have it here. I don't know what the delay is.
And the Miner offense is ready to go. Maybe they're just trying to make sure they got enough players on the field. Boy, Valley kept out O'Brien Selby to keep him healthy, and in the process, they've lost 2 more players tonight, and the more serious one is Isaac Brown, their defensive back, but also Remington Allen. I don't even see Allen on the field now. He came back out of the locker room, looked dejected, sitting on the sideline.
So the Miners going to take over here. Ward at quarterback in the shotgun. Corbin in the backfield with him. Runner in motion. They're going to hand it off to it's up the middle.
Yeah.
So Miller takes it up the middle.
Miller has kind of shown that he's willing to stick his neck in there and make some runs. Tackled by number 71.
71 would be Colton Reynolds.
He's up to another freshman. I was going to say true freshman.
So the Miners get 5 there. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Maybe 4, 2nd and 6, we'll call it at the 41. 3:44 remaining.
Well, the good news there is that it wasn't a negative play and they didn't turn the ball over.
So it's Miller in the backfield. Corbin's on a wing. Howard is the other wing, Chase Howard. Another almost high snap. Ward going to keep it, and he's going to get stuffed immediately. He had to kind of delay because of the high snap. Going to end up losing a couple of yards back to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, the JV team has been successful this year. I think just one game, we got beat by Monrovia.
So they're going to spot it at about the 40.
They're not looking real sharp right now. And now they are facing basically Springs Valley's defense.
So the ball at the 40. Ward again at quarterback in the shotgun. One wide receiver out wide right. I'd assume that's Smith. Runner in motion, going to hand it off to him. It's Corbin. He's going to break it up the middle now out to the right side.
Goodness,
Cody Corbin has some running room to the 30, the 20, and going to be ran out of bounds at about the 15. Nice run by Cody Corbin.
And he's a junior, and he's a kid that I'm sure would like to see some more action in the varsity, but with so many skill players. But that's a nice run by Cody. He made some nice open field moves. Got a great crushing block by Bill Smith coming back. And just could not outrun the low kid, number 20, who makes the touchdown-saving tackle. And that would have been nice for the JV to be able to put that ball in. They get down in the red zone, 15 yards. That's 45-yard carry by Cody Corbin.
1st and 10 at the 15 now for the Miners at the Springs Valley 15. Still 2:35 left, so still time for the JV to punch it in here. Runner in motion. Ward. This time they give it to
he's gone.
Touchdown Miller. I don't know. Once again, they fooled me. Miller right at the gut. I thought the ball was around the right end.
I was saying somebody's helmet looked like it was flying and it looked like a loss. And next thing you know, Miller burst up the gut. And that's more like what you want to see a minor team do, and that's the JV squad. And 2:24, they are able to drive 64 yards in 2 minutes.
So that's going to make it 61-20, and who's going to kick this time? It's still going to be Wilson kicking the extra point here. They need to block for him this time. I don't want him to get hit again.
Let's hope he doesn't get. Let's hope he gets some blocking.
Good snap this time, kick in the air, and this one's good. So Wilson knocks it through. So with 2:24 left in the ball game on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, the Miners on top, 62-20 now. So they'll get another chance to kick it off here. And we'll go ahead and take a 30-second break. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3, produced by Media 5 Sports.
Yo! Delicious frozen yogurt in Linton is the perfect destination for a cool, good-for-you treat. Come try some of our amazing flavors. Then top off the flavor of your choice with over 40 different toppings to choose from. New flavors added weekly. Stop by downtown Linton today and see why it's yo delicious.
Back once again at Springs Valley High School. Miners getting ready to kick off here. It'll be Noah Clark kicking off this time for the Miners.
It is tough to carry on conversations off the mic when you're asking questions.
Just trying to get word back. They're going to put Dad in a boot from his toes to his groin. He's going to head back to Linton tonight, so that's kind of good news there. Clark kicks it off end over end towards the right side of the field, the near sideline, and is picked up there by Lowe, I believe it is. He's going to run backwards now and be brought down by the Miners. Nice tackle.
Nice play.
In the open field. That's Corbin.
Corbin again, and Corbin making some nice plays. Nice coverage that time by the kicking team. Nice kick, putting that ball kind of down in a corner where he has really nowhere to run the ball by Clark.
So inside the 20 again for the Miner kickoff squad. So 1st and 10, Paoli. Springs Valley at the 19-yard line. Get all these faux paws out of the way. So 2:11 remaining now. The clock starts. Whitaker will remain in at quarterback, I think. Yes, he does. Sure, they won't do anything to put him in danger here down the stretch.
You sure wouldn't think so. And you would think if they had anybody on the roster to play quarterback, he'd be in there. But I don't see any nobody left.
And it's a handoff, and
nice
that's
play.
Carnes, and they wrap him up in the backfield quickly.
Yeah, that's Clark,
So
that's Clark again.
That's your varsity running back still in there
That's
that
one of
gets
your-
dragged
yeah.
down. So not the varsity line, but ball goes
That's
back.
Noah Clark again, number 80, coming in from the right side defensive end. He's making a little statement out there.
So 4-yard loss on that play takes it back to the 15, down to a minute 26. Referee waiting a long time to start that play clock.
Yeah.
Down to a minute 18. He ran about 10 seconds off before he ever started it there. Whitaker out of the shotgun, sends 2 wide receivers to both sides. Single back in the backfield is Johnson.
Well, you wouldn't think they'd try to. Well, I guess you would.
Now they're going to throw it out to the right side quickly. Caught out there by Carnes. Tries to break a tackle. Takes it back to the inside of the field. And he's going to be brought down. And the ball's out. It wasn't a flag. That's a penalty. That's a fumble flag.
I think Corbin's got it.
Beanbag. That's what I'm looking for. The fumble beanbag gets thrown out, and I believe the Miners are going to get the football.
Warnock got down there 74, and the fumble was caused and recovered by 27. Corbin and Clark are both kind of making their names here.
So the Miners take over to 26, and I would assume that we've probably seen the last. We're going to go into the victory formation here, and we won't try to do anything else. So Ward will take 1 or 2 knees. The clock's already started to be 2 knees, and this game will be over here. The Miners get their last offensive player out there. I believe that's Craig Gretline coming out.
Hawks trying to get their 10 lined up as well.
Ward up under center, going to take the knee, and that'll be the last play of the ball game. So the final score on the Highcom Security Services scoreboard, Linton 62, Springs Valley 20. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the post-game show. You're listening to Linton Miner Football on QD 93.3 and WQTYradio.com, produced by Media 5 Sports. And back once again at Springs Valley, I'm Darren Clayton along with Dan Phillips, and it was all Miners tonight, and we'll do a recap here as we wait for Coach Oliver to head up this way. The Miners get on the board with 9:31 left in the first quarter, a 30-yard pass from Muir to Jacob Clothier. Wilson adds the extra point. Miners are on top 7-0. Then the Miners score again with 1:54 left in the first quarter. Garrett Mason a 5-yard run. Wilson again adds the extra point. The Miners on top 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then it became the Tyler Muir show after that. Tyler goes in from 20 yards out with 11:04 left in the second quarter. Wilson adds the extra point, making it 21-0. It was Muir from 25 yards out with 8:06 left in the second quarter. Wilson again with the kick, 28-0. And then Muir from 63 yards out with 4:08 left in the half. Wilson again with the kick. It's 35-0. And then we throw in one more, Muir to Clothier from 30 yards out with 37.7 seconds left. Wilson again adds the extra point. Miners up 42-0 at half, and it's pretty impressive, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, they start off a little bit loose here and there, and the 14-0 score was a little bit misleading because we had a short field on that interception by Williams. And then it seemed like the second quarter, like you say, the Tyler Muir show. The second half really more or less JV through the entire time, and they had some big moments, and really it's kind of went as we kind of expected. I honestly expected the Miners to come out a little flat tonight. It's almost kind of a normal thing to have happen, and But we got through it tonight, it looks like, without anybody getting hurt other than your dad,
Right.
which we hope he's going to be he's going to be all right. But that's a tough thing to have both bones broken.
Yeah, 2 bones fractured below the knee, and they're trying to figure out if he's going to go back to Linton tonight, so that's a good thing. So
Well, I had the same thing happen when a piano fell on my leg, Darren, so I can remember that feeling pretty well. I had a lot of painkillers going on, so I didn't feel a whole lot. But, yeah, that first half was pretty impressive. And, we got to see Noah Clark tonight. Another high point, I think, tonight, Darren, is a shame that one PAT got blocked, because I think he was 8 for 8 kicking the extra points until that one. I don't know I think we were talking about the record.
Record's right.
Of course, we got alerted real fast.
Not even near
the
a
record. Is
record,
not humanly possible, but the
Yes.
modern day record, I think, is 9, and he hit 8. So some positives there. I think Corbin showed some stuff. Bill Smith showed.
Yeah.
And he played. Billy played the whole second half probably, and a lot of that second quarter at free safety. So
Hey, we're joined by Shane here after the game. He came back for more.
he likes that air.
Yeah, you caught him off guard. He didn't know I was going to talk to him again.
He likes that air conditioning. Is what he likes out there.
Well, Shane, another dominant performance by the Miners tonight. And I'm going to let Dan ask most of the questions. And, of course, Coach, here's what you can bank on at the end of the game, because I know whenever I came up, I always knew that Ollie was coming to bail me out at the end. So you can look forward to Ollie coming to bail you out here in a minute.
Well, we have to get him away from everybody before that happens.
First of all, Dan and I were talking, did we come out of here injury-free tonight other than Dad?
I think so. Yeah, I think everybody came out of there injury-free. It looked to me. I didn't see anybody anyway.
We saw Gentry kind of take a big hit and kind of get up slow, and then they replaced him. But I think he came back in.
Yeah, he came back in the game. I think maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him, but he came right back in later.
Big numbers by the Miners. Obviously not as big a numbers because we played the JV, and they didn't hardly take a snap early until the end of it. But Miner offense came alive that second quarter and continued it through the third quarter. Your assessment of how they did?
Well, they played just an excellent and very, very efficient game. The defense really set them up. The stats in the first half, with the score the way it was, the stats weren't gaudy because the defense was giving them such good field position. So, and then in the second half, the JV came in, and they had a bit of a rough start. I think they got an adjustment on the sideline, and then came back and played quite a bit better. Luke Miller had some good runs in there, and Cody had a real good run. But they definitely stepped up and played pretty well there. Saw Jarrett Hazelwood come around the end and make a really good tackle on number 19, who had quite a bit of size advantage on him. But Hazelwood came around there and got him down. So did a great job there.
Who took over on the defensive stat sheets? What I want to know.
Reed Firestone came in and filled in and did a great job. So.
Big thank you to Reed for helping out tonight there.
Well, he probably got pretty fired up being on the sideline himself. He's not that far removed from being in the red and blue, and his older brother now a coach.
Helping at North Davies. That was hard to – one of my former basketball players, that's kind of hard to –
wearing that burnt orange and black.
I thought I saw Reed, when they were talking about throwing some guys in there. I thought I saw him get ready to put the clipboard down, but he thought better of it.
All of us former Miners, we ache for that opportunity to maybe slide out there. That'd be pretty embarrassing for me, I'm pretty sure. First, getting the hair to stay under the hat, and secondly, if it was more than 3 yards in a cloud of dust, I'd pass out. They'd be calling they'd have to dump your dad out, come back and get me. Do you think Coach will be happy when I get him up here to talk?
I would imagine so. I think he'll be happy. Very good game for him, and Tyler in that first half. I tell you, it was almost like watching a video game a couple of times.
What was the reaction to the hurdle on the sidelines?
Some of the best reaction was some of the players coming off the sideline, and one of the guys said that was the coolest thing he's seen in real life. So it was really quite a bit. But we talked about it at halftime. Is that he broke half a dozen tackles behind the line of scrimmage before he got to do the hurdle. The hurdle was just kind of the cherry on top. He really made some athletic plays there.
The only way that could have been better for you guys would have been had it been on your sideline.
Sure.
We had a bee's eye look at it here, and it was just we thought there was going to be a collision, I knew Tyler wasn't going to go down and just roll out of there. When he leaped over the kid, how'd you like to be number 23? I mean, he's probably closing his eyes going in for the hit, and when he opens them, he's on the ground, and Tyler's in the end zone.
Yeah, I think I might have faked a hamstring injury or something just to come out.
Well, Shane, thanks for coming up and sharing some more with us, and appreciate what you've done to help us out tonight. So thanks.
Hey, no problem.
We'll finish up that recap. Third quarter scoring, Pierce Jackson from 25 yards out. 6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the third quarter when that happened. Wilson adds his 7th extra point of the night, and then Springs Valley gets on the board. A 15-yard run from Perkaiser with the 1:07 left in the third quarter makes it 49-7 after Green kicks the extra point almost all the way out of the facility
over to the gas
here.
station over there.
Then right after that, 44.6 seconds left in the third quarter, and Crecilius on a fumble recovery in the end zone. The JV snap goes over the head of the quarterback and into the end zone, and they recover. And then the Miners turn around, and Bill Smith goes 84 yards, and we end up with 3 touchdowns in about 40 seconds.
And this is the same Bill Smith who the kickoff before let the ball kind of go through his legs and kind of stood there at the 3, and we thought, what are you doing? Gets out to the 10. He paid his debt.
Absolutely. And then we finish out the scoring. Zach Carnes on a 15-yard pass from Whitaker puts Springs Valley back on the board. This time the kick is no good. And then 55-20 at that point. And then Luke Miller, the 15-yard run for the Miners with 2:24 left. Nice run by him. And once again, I got fooled. There was a couple of times tonight where the ball fakes were handled very well by the Miners.
And Miller was so quick through the hole that he shot like a cannon out there. It gives me a good feeling to know that there's a Luke Miller out there that I think could come in with the first stringers and run the ball hard. And Cody Corbin, I believe, can come in and run the ball hard as well. So these are two guys who, I know they take advantage of their playing time, and they look tough.
Just taking a look at some defensive stats here that Shane dropped off. 6 tackles tonight for Dylan Morris, 5 tackles for Corbin coming in there with the JV bunch. Pierce Jackson with 6 tackles. So some of the usual names we see.
If these guys would have played 4 quarters, Dylan Morris would have had off the hook numbers. But it was good to get some of those younger guys in. And really, like he said, the numbers on the offense, they're nothing tremendous. 398 yards total, but basically, the JV kind of came in there towards the end. I see Coach Oliver has made his way up to the air conditioning.
Is it air conditioning?
It is air conditioning.
Yes, sir.
Coach, of course, I think you got out of tonight what you wanted to see happen, and you got some guys in there, maybe a little sluggish at the beginning of the game. How do you feel we came out of tonight's contest?
I don't think we got any better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be super overpleased.
No, I'm not. I mean, we was telling the kids they got to push themselves. That's the big key. We just got to keep getting against opponents like this. We just can't take it easy, come out there lackadaisical. And we preached that all week. We pushed them all week. And they came out and they still did that a little bit.
It's tough when you're 15, 16-year-old. We talked about it in pregame. I mean, even though you tell them, they saw the 50-0 score last week, and it's just you can see they weren't the same intense group that they were. Got some stupid penalties along the way that didn't help us much. But now the passing attack on the other side of the coin, again, some beautiful drop passes from Muir to Clothier. Probably nice to see Jacob Clothier more involved in the offense.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was our goal, was try to get him a little bit more involved tonight and work on our passing game. Really work with Tyler. I mean, he still has some reads that he needs to make. I mean, there was a couple times he should have threw the ball. He held on to it a little too long and tucked and run. Still got positive yards majority of the time. But eventually later on down the road, we might need those pass plays. Yeah. So, but he played well. We just still need to keep working on those little things, and that's kind of like why we were doing that right tonight.
You had some young kids come in and play tonight, Gerald's and Chance Howard. Pig also got some time on the offensive line. You could see a little bit of trouble at the beginning. Now that you say that Muir held on to it a little bit too long, maybe it wasn't on the line. How do you feel these guys came in and did?
Oh, they did all right. I mean, there wasn't that cohesiveness there on the front line like there usually is.
Well, a guy like Gerald's, he hasn't really seen any varsity first teamers.
So I was kind of, I wouldn't say new to him, but it was new to everybody else out there. And he did fine, and Howard did fine. They're both learning there. I mean, a good thing like this, we was able to create depth there.
And that you feel a little bit better about if they have to come in, they do. And Bill Smith comes in and plays pretty much safety really most from the mid-second quarter on. Mm-hmm. How do you feel he did? He broke up a couple passes.
Oh, Bill does really well. I mean, he's learning. I mean, this is his first time he's played for several years, but he's learned how to read the QB and break on the ball and make plays. And he was able to do that a little bit, and he had a great kickoff return run. I was like, you got to run. He's kind of holding, and finally he took off.
you're beating my next question because I wanted to say, so your reaction at the first kickoff that kind of rolls through it and he kind of stands there, and I'm thinking, pick up the ball. He's at the 3. I'm figuring you're going to talk to him when he comes to the sideline. He rewards you with an 86-yard
exactly.
run back.
And I told him, I said, that's why we catch the ball.
Yeah.
I said, you get down and get your hands down there and catch the ball.
Now, looking at the JV squad that came in, of course, they didn't look too hot there at the beginning, but I think Cody Corbin had a couple of nice runs. You got to be impressed with Luke Miller running the ball. I mean, he runs the ball pretty hard.
Yeah, Luke Miller does. I mean, he plays a little tight end, a little bit of fullback for us. He thinks his best position is fullback. We think his best position is tight end. Almost really wanted to make him a pulling guard, but he didn't want to. So,
yeah.
But he does well for us there. I mean,
he may have to if he wants to see some playing time. You got guys ahead of you there that are going to be here next year as well.
Well, absolutely, and that's the thing. So, but we'll kind of wait and see on that. But he did really well. He came in and had some good runs. Corbin did as well. Just JV looked a little sluggish. I think a little nerves got to him. They didn't get to fully warm up like they normally would. But that happens. But we still expect him to play at a high level. And the energy level, even when that bad snap, our guy was watching it instead of going after it. So there's little things like that. The energy just wasn't there varsity and JV-wise. It was dead on the sideline. So it just wasn't a typical night. But we still had put 62 points, so I'll still take that, though.
Good to see Noah Clark, and he made some nice stops. Good to see Evan Phillips, was it? That was in there. A couple guys that haven't played. And the last thing, Luke Wilson. Other than these blocked extra points, he is money on those extra points.
Oh, yeah, he's been doing really well with that. You just every time we do something, adjust someone, and then we put our JV guys in there, and they miss blocks, they come at it, and that wasn't our typical varsity guys in there. So that happens, but he's got to work through both of it.
Last thing to ask you, Coach, I'll let you get down there. Kind of surprising to me, North Knox beats North Central 35-0 tonight. What's your initial reactions on that? It's the reaction most people have had.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but I don't know much about either one of those teams. I know North Knox got a decent running back. North Central really runs that option. That's about all I know. I haven't watched any film, but I'm surprised. But next week, North Davies and homecoming, so it'll be a big week for us.
Keeping the guys focused there, but it'll be a home. At least it'll be a home in front of the home.
Finally, how do I have another hour and a half or 2 hour road trip? I'm finally home for once.
Coach, appreciate you coming up here, making the trip, and of course, congratulations on a 5-0. And we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
No problem. How's your dad?
Two fractured bones below the knee. They're going to stabilize it and send him back home tonight.
Oh, geez, Pete.
Yeah.
I told him if he didn't want to keep stats, I would do just let me know. He didn't have to get taken out.
I'm sure he much rather would have stayed.
Oh, I'm sure he would have too. Well, I'm glad he's on his way home then.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll see you.
Coach Oliver victorious again tonight are the Linton Miners, and we will try to get things wrapped up here tonight. And boy, you hate to keep going the same way with player of the game, but my goodness, I mean,
you hate to give it to the same guy every week, but
and I think that you do that knowing, and I think Tyler wouldn't argue with you. He knows that without the other weapons, what he does is not there. I mean, he's well aware of that, and you know, the other players know. I mean, we talked about Mitch Eberhardt with the big game against Sullivan, and Mitch knows that somewhere down the line, people are going to say, okay, enough's enough with this Muir kid.
Well, what they're going to do is the linebackers are going to key on Tyler, and they're going to follow Tyler wherever Tyler goes.
Yep.
And that means you're going to get Mason. We saw Mason with a couple of busts up the middle.
Yes.
Pierce was kind of quiet tonight. Really, I mean, these guys didn't play a whole heck of a lot. If we'd have seen them all game long, and it's hard to ignore his effort just on the 2 plays. Athletically, we saw the only other person that I lean at is an 8 of 9 blocked kick.
We could
from
do
Luke
that.
Wilson.
Yeah,
so
we could absolutely
I really
do
think
that,
spread the wealth a little bit. Tyler deserves it, of course. He deserves it. He's deserved it in every game he's played. But maybe let's give Luke the time that he's put into it.
It is time to announce in tonight's REMC Star of the Game. So,
Luke Wilson, he was 8 of 8 really when he had a chance to kick it. He got 1 blocked. Certainly wasn't his fault. Consistently kicking the ball down to about the 10-yard line. Good coverage. So let's give some credit to him. Of course, the whole Miners deserve it, but you guys spread the wealth. So I'm all for Luke.
Sounds good. Congratulations to Luke Wilson, tonight's Star of the Game. And for being named the Star of the Game, REMC is pleased to donate $50 to the Linton Athletic Department. That's from Utilities District of Western Indiana. REMC, a strong supporter of local and area high school sports. Well, that's going to do it from here at Springs Valley High School. I want to thank Katie Sullivan back at the station for helping us out tonight. For Dan Phillips, I'm Darren Clayton saying good night and have a great day tomorrow.